mercy, yeah. Hard work got first, yeah. Today I'm in the dirt, yeah. Jesus Christ is Lord, yeah. I know who I serve, yeah. When my life was hard, always been there, my prayers were heard, yeah. She said, Z, you work too much. Since I was a kid, I knew I was the one. I hate the pain, but I keep showing up. I can never go back to the way that it was. Consistency is key, and that's what I'm on. Be disciplined now, I'll regret when it's gone. Fail and get up, that's the way to get strong. I built an altar and gave it to God. Made my best song and it still hasn't dropped. Went on a run and it still hasn't stopped. Picked up the gun, but it still hasn't shot. Just getting started, I'm still warming up. He's coming back soon, so watch the clock. Watch the throne, watch the spot. You are what you think, so watch what you want. My life is a movie, I watch it a lot. And we just went month to month to month to month to month on the way to the top. Woke up this morning and made a decision. I'm never gonna quit till I live what I saw. I do this for you, you're just like me. We don't sleep much cause we got this dream. And we put in the work that nobody sees. We walk through the hell that nobody leaves. They don't understand why we suffer up front, but we never gonna stop till the job gets done. I'm not afraid anymore, I check the score and I know that we...
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Champion Stadium in Springdale, where it's the Class 6A playoffs tonight as the Shiloh Saints get ready to take on, for the first time ever, the Wildcats of El Dorado make the long trip up from South Arkansas as the Saints got a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Last week, El Dorado defeated a 6A West opponent, Lake Hamilton, in order to get here. So welcome in Cliff Anderson into this game. Cliff, big crowd on the Saints. It's been filling in. Looks like El Dorado bringing a decent-sized crowd, even though it's a long way up. So it's going to be two teams in the history of Arkansas football have had a lot of success.
Absolutely, and it is a pretty good crowd to come all this way from South Arkansas. As you said, they brought their band. We haven't seen very many bands come here, if any, at all. So should be a great night for high school football. I mean, I was telling someone earlier today that really, in my mind, I feel like the playoffs start this week. You know, last week, Shiloh had a bye, and in 7A and 6A, you've got the 1 and 2 seeds have byes, and so you kind of have play-in games to really see who's taking that next step in the playoffs. Here we are this week, the Saints, the 2 seed out of 6A West, playing the Wildcats from El Dorado, the 3 seed out of the 6A East, and it should be a great game tonight. Hopefully our Saints will play well, come out on top, and keep making the march to Little Rock.
So as we get ready for our pregame show, fans are filing in. We talked to head coach of the Saints, Tucker Barnard, about tonight's game and the playoffs. So we'll kick it to our pregame show for the head coach of the Saints, Tucker Barnard.
Welcome to the Shiloh Christian pregame show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Coach Tucker Barnard Show as we get ready for the playoff edition as the Saints get ready to take on the Wildcats of El Dorado. And so, Coach, we look back at the regular season, 10 weeks, finished the regular season 8-2. What was kind of one of your favorite plays, maybe your favorite moments of the season?
That's a hard one, but I think my favorites are the things that happen, you know, over and over and over again, and that's the moment where we look across the field and we know that the other team has kind of succumbed to our will, you know, it doesn't happen at the same point in every game, and you know, there's games that we lose, obviously, but you know, when we hit that spot, you know, and we kind of try to mark it a little bit in our minds with the players, you know, that okay, we've got them, you know, they've had enough, they're done for the night, you know, and that's something that we push for every single week, you know, is to try to push our opponent to that moment where they don't really have the will to keep fighting the way that they did, you know, at the beginning of the game, and that's my favorite moment every week. I've really enjoyed watching the way our guys play. I really have enjoyed it, and I feel like this has been a little bit of a process of getting, you know, to this place. But to watch our guys fly around the football field and just play with a reckless abandon, that's a lot of fun for me.
Yeah. Coach, as we filmed this on Wednesday, just so you guys are out there watching know, just had senior send-off for your players. We dressed the 9th graders out this week. They move up from junior high as part of it. Talk about those traditions and what they mean to the program.
Yeah, the first thing of the 9th graders moving up is something that is it's a really neat tradition. We've been fortunate for a lot of years to play in a lot of playoff games, and we bring those guys up at the end of the season And when you look at it, and if you make it to a state championship game and those ninth graders get an extra 3 or 4 weeks of practice, right, that maybe your opponents aren't getting, they get just an opportunity to feel what a high school practice is like, to see the intensity, to get in on it a little bit. Obviously, they're in the individual drills and things like that, and they get some of the team reps and things like we make sure and get a bunch of those guys in it. But it kind of gives you a jump start on spring football. They have an idea of what all of this feels like when it goes to the next step, right, in the evolution of their football career. So we love that one. It's going to be one, as we grow, it's going to get harder to do that. The logistics, the travel and all those kind of things. It's why a lot of the big schools, like we're going to be in 7A potentially. They can't really do that very easily just because they've got so many players, and there'll come a day when that's a problem for us. The senior send off is just kind of a neat thing where we just line up all the other guys and we bring those seniors through, and we're doing it here into the opening round of the playoffs for us. So it's not really a send off yet. It's really a word of encouragement as we kind of step forward into this playoff season. And Shiloh football for a long time has called the playoffs. We said this is our time of year, and so it's really that introduction to playoff football for seniors. This that last time.
Kind of led us right into our next question. What playoffs start this week? What changes about your program? Practice, anything? What's different about this week other than obviously if you lose, your season's over?
Yeah, absolutely nothing, honestly. I mean, and as close to nothing as possible. We try to we work hard to approach every week the same. I've said this multiple times. It doesn't matter if it's Greenwood or Bethany, Oklahoma, or El Dorado or a state it really doesn't matter. We want to take the same approach. We want to have the same kind of intensity. Now there's a little more on the line, right? But I think, and if you listen to great coaches talk, historic type coaches, and they'll talk about that you have to try to recreate this over and over and over again. If you're going to try to play at your highest level at the end, you're not just going to flip a switch, because it's playoffs and all of a sudden you're going to take it to another level, right? We've got to play at that level. You got to live at that level all the time, and that's what we're trying to do.
Talking about our playoff opponent this week, El Dorado. They make the long trip up from South Arkansas, but kind of watching them on film, Coach, a lot of athletes. They really want to, a lot of RPO concepts is what I saw on film. Kind of run the football at you. Just talk a little bit about what El Dorado brings from an offensive perspective.
Yeah, I mean, it's a strong running game, and if you listen, you guys, if you go watch and listen to their coach talk and listen to to their live stream announcers talk, I mean, they're proud of their run game, physical run game, and they believe they can run the ball in the middle on anybody, and that's the approach that they're going to take, and to keep you honest with that and try to keep your safeties and out of the mix, or they'll RPO that and spit some balls out, and so you've really got to be balanced and be able to handle multiple things at once, and that's a difficult deal. El Dorado, they've got a ton of tradition. You had a great football coach, and they've won for a long time, in El Dorado, so they know what it's all about. And this is, to me, I look at it, this is not a typical, maybe what Shiloh fans might be used to as a first round matchup. I mean, this is an 8-3 football team that's coming here, and they know how to win. They beat Marion, beat Sylvan Hills. Sylvan Hills beat Benton, I mean, and really kind of messed up the whole conference the way things was. Some people thought it was going to shake out, but great football team. It should be exciting night.
And Coach, we'll wrap it up this way. Talk about what El Dorado is going to do with defense, try to slow down. And offense has been explosive for the Saints the last few weeks.
Yeah, this could be a really interesting matchup. I mean, they play a lot of quarters and some man concepts, and they'll trade off some man coverage. You do that so that you can stack the box and try to stop the run. I think we're an interesting matchup for them as well, because just the style of offense that we play, and airing the ball out the way that we do. But in addition to that, we can run the ball, and it hasn't been, maybe as much as many carries on Griff, and Max, and as what it had been in the last couple of years. But Cole being healthy has really given us option to throw the ball out on the perimeter and down the field a lot more. But our tempo, it's going to be exciting. I expect a great football game. We'll give it our best shot.
Saints get ready for a quarterfinal game against the El Dorado Wildcats. More on our pregame show coming up next. Thanks to Tucker Barnard for joining us. More Saints and El Dorado Wildcats coming up.
This has been the Shiloh Christian Pregame Show.
Welcome back into Champion Stadium as the Saints and the Wildcats of El Dorado about 10 minutes ready for kickoff. You see our dance team kind of lining up on the sidelines. Cheerleaders over by where the Saints will run through and here in just a minute. So the El Dorado cheerleaders, they've made their line on the other side, so we're about ready to go in a few minutes. So Cliff, let's talk a little bit about El Dorado, our opponent tonight. The Wildcats come into this game with an 8-3 record. Ironically, even though the Saints and El Dorado have never played, they have two common opponents this year. Both teams played Little Rock Christian in the non-conference. El Dorado fell 35-14 in Little Rock in what was the opening week of the season back in August. And then last weekend they played Lake Hamilton in El Dorado in the playoffs, and El Dorado came out on top of that game 28-10. So, Cliff, very unusual for a team that is so far away from us that we've had two common opponents already this year.
Yeah, well, that's just really a factor of 16 teams being in Class 6A and 16 teams being in Class 7A. In my opinion, you've got two classifications that combined only have 32 teams, and so when that's the case, you want to play other teams of your ability and size and whatnot. There, it's kind of slim pickings around the state of Arkansas. That's why Shiloh, over the past several years has gone to Oklahoma and played Lincoln Christian, Victory Christian, and this year Bethany, Oklahoma. And so Shiloh has had to search through the years for some opponents, some non-conference opponents from time to time. And so it's not really that odd to see some crossover, as you're saying there. But, yeah, got the El Dorado Wildcats coming up here, and really looking to next week. If Shiloh were to win and move on into the playoffs, be in the state semis next week, we're going to play the winner of Marion and Sylvan Hills. And so, again, next week would be a first-time opponent also for the Saints. And then we'll see what happens on the other side of the bracket if we were to make it to the state championship game in Little Rock. I fully expect to see the Greenwood Bulldogs in Little Rock again. Love to play them again. Feel like we match up well with Greenwood and have had some great games. Shiloh hasn't come out on top yet, but maybe this will be the season that Shiloh's able to do that. An interesting little fact I was telling you about here, Shiloh and El Dorado have never played, but the head coach for El Dorado, Chris Hill, has some experience coaching against Shiloh Christian. Back in 2013, our first year in Class 5A, Shiloh first-round game goes to Wynn over in Eastern Arkansas. Chris Hill was the coach at Wynn that year. Shiloh lost 35-19. Wynn moves on to the playoffs. Shiloh season ended there against the Wynn Yellow Jackets. But Chris Hill, the coach for El Dorado, coach for Wynn in 2013. And so he very familiar with Shiloh Saints, as many people around the state are, and very familiar with what Shiloh's going to try to do, throwing the ball and just that up-tempo offense that we see week in and week out.
At Cliff, we're talking about El Dorado a little bit. We mentioned they came in 8-3. Their three losses, though, to two really good teams. They've lost to Benton, Sylvan Hills, and Little Rock Christian, although all three of those losses were by double digits. So looking at what the Wildcats want to do in offense, they're led by senior quarterback number 8, Cannon Jacobs. He's going to see not a big thrower. They're about 70-30 run, as Cliff will talk more about in a second. And then in the running back, you'll see number 5, Bratavian Brown. Number 6, J.J. Samuel will be the two that they'll feature. They'll throw a few wide receivers at you, but Cliff, primarily for El Dorado, they're going to do some RPO almost the entire game, but they're going to emphasize the R in that RPO. They're going to run the ball and run the ball and run the ball some more.
Absolutely, and like you said, they run the ball about 70% of the time, throw it 30% of the time. El Dorado comes in averaging 37.5 points per game. Pretty good numbers there. They give up 25 points per game, so not a whole lot of difference in what they give up and what they score there. Shiloh, on the other hand, offensively, scoring 50.5 points per game this season, only giving up 19. So Shiloh has a lot bigger difference there in the points they score versus the points that they give up. And like you said, you've got quarterback Cannon Jacobs. We'll call his name a lot. He's a senior, number 8, and he's not really going to beat Shiloh with his arm. He's just going to lead the offense, be an effective leader from that quarterback position, can run the ball. Their leading rusher, Jeremy Samuel, last week against Lake Hamilton, 139 yards rushing. And then Christian Williams, number 4, will be probably the main go-to receiver on the offensive side. They've got some good defensive guys as well. We'll call their names out as the game goes on. El Dorado from the defensive side, very stout, very quick, very athletic. We're going to see a lot of athleticism from the Wildcats on the field tonight against these Saints.
Yeah, El Dorado, kind of an old team. When you look at kind of their Big 12 players that you're going to see from the special part of the field tonight, 9 of the 12 are seniors. So they're a very veteran team, a lot of tradition at El Dorado. Kind of flipping things around, Cliff, from the offense. You mentioned it a second ago, Saints averaging 50-plus points a game. Kind of went back and looked, Cliff, as we were kind of talking about getting ready for the game tonight. Since the Greenwood game, the Saints have scored 55, 53, 55, 59, 63, 51. And a lot of those games, to be honest with you, the offense has played half. So the Saints offense clicking at full speed here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would love to see that again tonight, that our starters aren't in the third or fourth quarters. That means we've got the game well in hand. But I expect to see just a battle out there on the field tonight, as El Dorado has not they've had a great season, 8-3 coming into this game. They haven't made the long trip across from one corner of the state to the other just to come and lay down and play their final game. I mean, they're going to fight tooth and nail on this field tonight to try to upset the number 2 ranked Shiloh Christian Saints, who have been number 2 all season long, even though Shiloh lost a couple games throughout the season. Come into this game 8-2. Shiloh and Greenwood have been the 2 teams at the top of the rankings all season long. Shiloh led by their junior quarterback Cole Creighton. He's a 69% completion passer, has passed for over 3,000 yards, averages 302 passing yards a game, 37 touchdowns, 7 interceptions for the junior quarterback.
El Dorado has won the toss, and they're going to receive the kickoff.
So if you heard that over the mic, El Dorado, the Wildcats won the toss. They elected to receive. Now, as you see in this game, you're going to see 2 completely opposite styles on offense. Saints want to go as fast as they possibly can, put as many points on the board as they can, as fast as they can. El Dorado, they want to pound it out on the ground, keep the clock moving, shorten this game, and just see if they can physically dominate, particularly as they get late in the game. So the lights go out as the Saints are about ready to come out. But, Cliff, let's talk about the playoffs a little bit. We'll kind of talk a little about this more tonight. Sylvan Hills and Berrien will be the game we're watching the most. The winner of this game plays the winner of that game. If Marion wins that game and the Saints win, Shiloh will host Marion next week. If Sylvan Hills wins tonight and the Saints win, we will head to North Little Rock next week. On the other side of the bracket, you have, man, what a great game tonight at a quarterfinal. Mountain Home at Benton will be one quarterfinal, the other one Jonesboro and Greenwood. Now, you got to think Greenwood will be a heavy favorite in that one. But, you know, Cliff, and we kind of, Coach Barnard actually kind of hit on it in the pregame show a little bit. You know, you probably feel like Mountain Home, Benton, Greenwood, and Shiloh are probably the top 4 teams in 6A right now. Either Mountain Home or Benton, somebody's season's over tonight. They meet in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great game, as you said there, and we'll be watching that and keeping everybody up to date on the scores as we kind of see, what happens here, but then what's happening across the state is all these teams, you know, it's one and done for all these teams in the playoffs now. If you don't win, it's over. And for Shiloh, you've got, I believe, 14 seniors. They don't want to end their senior season and their high school career at Champion Stadium on their home field. And then you've got the seniors for El Dorado, as you said, that are here to try to keep their season going. So a lot riding on our game tonight, a lot riding on games all across the state. One thing we'll be watching also is Chandler Kemp, the senior receiver for the Saints. He only needs 56 yards to eclipse the 1,000-yard reception yardage mark for the season. Zane Slider has already done that, as he has over 1,100 yards receiving the season. Chandler Kemp trying to catch his senior buddy, senior receiver, at that 1,000-yard mark as well. Two great senior receivers who put up numbers throughout their career and kind of etched their name in the record books here with all the greats from the past, and they want to keep it going tonight.
Yep, Saints getting ready as they take the field as the lights come back on through there. The Youth Football League teams are also following those guys out. I think the third graders won the championship in their Youth Football League to go through, and so Cliff, a little cat and mouse game by El Dorado over there. The Wildcats not taking the field yet. They're kind of waiting until everything comes back out. So they're going to come back out after the Saints, which is a little unusual. Usually the visiting team will come on the field first, but El Dorado will have it. But, man, Cliff, I'm just going to give their fans credit. That's maybe one of the biggest crowds we've seen from a visiting team all year. And we played some teams not very far from here, and they've outdrawn them. Congrats to their crowd.
I think that tells you a couple things.
Yeah.
One, with the team coming out after all the pomp and circumstance of the pregame that Shiloh has here on the field, the lights, the fire, the video. So part of that may be strategic on their part of, hey, we're going to stay back. Don't get caught up in that. We're going to come out on the field. We're going to be ready to play. And then you're right, the fans, the band from South Arkansas, from El Dorado there, I think that tells you also they believe in their team. They believe that they can drive all the way across the state and potentially pull an upset. I know Shiloh has been on the road in previous years, and we've gone to cross it. I remember a really long trip we had down in southeast Arkansas. Shiloh won that game. Man, that was a fun ride back home. It's a lot more fun when you win on the road. El Dorado wants to do that tonight, make that 5-hour drive back to South Arkansas just a little bit easier.
Yeah, these guys have done it on the road already this year. They went to West Memphis, which is, again, a long trip. From there, they went over there and won. They went to Marion and won. So they've seen the Arkansas side of the Mississippi River a couple times this year. But they get the other end of the state in northwest Arkansas tonight as the Saints and El Dorado get ready to kick it off. So the Wildcats with their kind of Kansas State purple and colors, and looks like K-State every way you can see out there. Two guys back deep will be number 5, and Tavian Brown will be the guy to watch. And there's the kick. It's going to be taken by 9 at the 20. And he's hit hard at the 22 and then taken down from behind by Rowe at the 25-yard line. So that was Bronson Brock on the return for El Dorado.
And that was the first hit tonight by these Saints, but it was a hit. It wasn't a wrap-up tackle. That's one thing, Billy, we've got to really do a great job if you're Shiloh on defense, because El Dorado's not going to go down easy. They're not going to go down just because you pop them. You got to wrap them up, stop their momentum, hit them, get them on the ground. So we'll see how the Saint defense does with that, because at times this season they have been a little light on the tackles and just hitting. So let's see if we can make the tackles, wrap them up, get them on the ground.
1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Power formation on first down. This is what they're going to try to do tonight, and nothing doing on first down as the running back, J.J. Samuel. He's the guy who's going to get most of the carries. He gets a yard right there on first down. He's hit by several Saints. Brody Francis, a couple of the other ones to go. So it's going to be 2nd down, and we'll call it 9 for the Wildcats. A little bit of tempo, a little surprising here for El Dorado. That's not something they've shown a lot of. They're going to run it again. Same run off the left side. It's got a little room. Breaks a tackle at 40, 45. Rowe's got one shot to catch him. He can't do it. 40, 35, 30, 25, 20. Salter's on the run, and Salter will catch him from behind at the 4-yard line. There are no flags. Big run by El Dorado, although running back a little bit slow, Samuel, to get up. But he is their big hoss. They want him to carry as many times as they can tonight, and he rips one off. So 1st and goal for the Wildcats at the 4.
Well, like I said pregame, Samuel came in last week, 139 rushing yards against Lake Hamilton. And he's showing just the speed and power he has once he gets out in the open field there.
Well, he got about 50 on that one plus right there. They're going to run the option. Quarterback's going to keep it, and he gets maybe a yard to the 3. So 2nd down, well, we'll say this couple there. Well, second down and goal from about the 4-yard line. But man, Cliff, if you're El Dorado, that's exactly what you wanted. Pound the ball and bust one early in the game.
Absolutely. You got the kickoff. You feel good about your offense, about moving the ball on the Saint defense. So far, so good for El Dorado.
Second and goal for the Wildcats. Handoff right up the middle, comes this way, chopped down about the 3-yard line, another 1-yard gain. So it's going to bring up third down and goal as they keep pounding Samuel.
Boy, I think if Shiloh could hold on for one more down, force a play call, early decision by Coach Chris Hill, are we going to try a field goal, or are we going to punch it in here? I would expect El Dorado to try to punch it in, so we've got 2 downs to make a stop.
At the 3-yard line, handoff one more time. He's hitting the backfield and breaks away, but doesn't get away from the second tackle. Back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Great job by the Saint defense right there. And Cliff, right before they ripped off the big run, I was just about to say, in the last 4 games, the Saint defense is averaging 9 points a game on defense. They have been stiff the last few weeks of the season. So 4th and goal, El Dorado, no hesitation. The Wildcats are going to go for it. Makes a lot of sense early in the game, and you know this is not going to be a 6-3 game. This is going to be with some points. If you're the Wildcats and win it, you also win the field position if you get stuffed here. Let's see if they do a little RPO or they just try to pound it with Samuel. Saints nearly jump. They don't. El Dorado looks to the sideline. Coach Hill's going to come out in the field and call a timeout with 9:33 left to go. So 4th and goal.
And great discipline by the Saint defense not to jump. That was the quarterback trying to get a hard count there, trying to pick up a few extra feet, being that close to the goal line. Saints, again, very disciplined, and now it's decision time for Coach Chris Hill. Does he go for it early? I would if I'm the coach, and rely on our big offensive line to get a push, create a hole. If you're Shiloh on the defensive side, man, you got to plug every hole. You can't get blocked out of the play. Come off a block, make a hit, make a stop, and Shiloh could get the ball.
Yeah, you don't know, Cliff, what's going to happen, obviously, on 4th and goal. But if the Saints get a stop, give Salter some credit. Running the play down from behind, saved the touchdown, and the Saints are a play away from holding El Dorado out. Let's see what the Wildcats want on 4th down here if they want to just try to pound it one more time. They've got 1 wide receiver in the formation right now, split out to the left, and that's Sevin Hammett. They've thrown to him a little bit, but this is a formation that's either a play action or a pound. They'll put the running back this time to the right, a little bit different look, and we've got a whistle. And the Saints, Coach Holly, out on the field. He calls a timeout, saw something he didn't like right there. So definitely a good timeout with 9:33 to go in the first quarter of this game. So big play early in this one just for momentum both sides right here.
Absolutely, but let me back up 2 plays. How about the play by who ran?
Gonzalez?
No, who ran down the runner?
Salter.
Salter, sorry, Xander Salter, I'm sorry. I mean, how big of a play is that? You have Samuel getting to the outside. He's outrunning everybody. He's going to score. Salter never gives up on the play, runs him down, which puts us in this position at 4th and goal inside the 2-yard line there. So if the Saints can hold right here, man, Xander Salter, hats off to you, buddy, for keeping the play, staying in the play to make the tackle.
Yeah, it looked like Samuel was gone, but Salter caught him. But it won't matter if the Wildcats can stick it in the goal right here. 4th down and goal from right outside the 2. They'll keep the same formation. They've got an H-back that's Poole, who will be lined up on the right side. 4th down, quarterback keeper, and he's hit. He didn't get in. The Saints with a goal line stand to start the game. What a job by the Saint defense as El Dorado had 1st and goal. And just outside the 5, they get it to the 2, but they couldn't get it in. And as we mentioned, a hat tip to Salter. He saved the day to get us in the position, and then the Saints did it. And I got to admit, Cliff, I'm a little shocked at the play call. They went to the weak side with the quarterback and not with their power running back.
Absolutely. That's just what Coach Chris Hill thought, that the right side was their strength there, but the Saints plug the holes, make the stop. Now they're inside their 2-yard line, about the 1, it looks like.
So Saints are backed up, but we're kind of happy to be backed up right now. That means we started play action for Cole. He's going to throw it deep down the right sideline. He's got Slider. It's caught at the 40, 45 midfield. Stiff arms a man, 40, pushed out of bounds in El Dorado Wildcat territory all the way down. We'll see. The referee's still running, so I don't know where he went out of bounds officially. 32-yard line. So from their own 2, to the El Dorado 32-yard line. Saints with a big gain there. First down, 69 yards on the play, 67 yards on the play. At the 32, Shiloh's flipped the field in a hurry. Handoff, Griffin Mason hit at the line. Nothing doing. Griff's going to lose a yard right there. A little bit of a trouble with a handoff there between Griff and Cole. Wasn't real clean on the operation there. So second down and 11 for the Wildcats. Defense, as they'll try to make a stand, as the Saints have flipped it with a big play on first down deep down the field. We thought coming in that might be a win for Shiloh tonight with the deep ball. Cole, quick hitter, out to Kemp. Caught, 25. Stiff arms a man, dragging him down from behind at the 20-yard line, but that's going to move the chains as Chandler picks up 13 and a first down. May have a flag down. Let's see. Do you see one, Cliff? I don't see one anywhere, but
maybe it's on the far side of the field, but
Slaughter is talking to the official, like with his hands up, like he thinks they called something. I don't see a flag, so we'll be patient and wait on the officials here. Saints are backing up, so this looks like it's going to be something against Shiloh here.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, offense number 2 for blocking out of bounds. It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay second down.
Okay, so we didn't see the flag because the play happened out of bounds. So Beach continued the block, but he continued it out of bounds, 2 yards down the field. So it'll be a 15-yard penalty from the 30. Back the Saints up to the 45-yard line. Shiloh will have second down and long. They need to get inside the 23-yard line. So, but unfortunately, it's going to be a bad penalty for the Saints, 15 yards. They'll go quads to the left as they'll send Charlie Carell all the way back out here. Charlie going to run a route. Cole looking, pocket breaks down, still looking. He's got Slaughter short. Now Cole's going to throw it. Second layer, called by Carell, the 25, to the 20. Charlie to the 15. Charlie's got the first down for the Saints at the 15-yard line. Saints rip off 30 on that play, and again, as Carell gets the first down, Saints will go again quickly as they can. Chang and crew on their move, and they get down there and get it set. First down, Saints. Ref a little slow spotting the football there. Get El Dorado to get lined up. Handoff, Griffin coming left side to the 15, and he's going to be chopped down at the 12-yard line. Gain of only 1. So Griffin so far not finding anything on the ground. Loss of a yard and a gain of a yard, so back to 0. Second down for the Saints at the 14 of El Dorado. We're underway, 7:51 to go, first quarter. Saints' first drive of the game, trying to put it in the end zone. Kemp in motion across the formation to the right. Play action, they fire it out to Kemp in the flat. Gets a great block from Slaughter. Oh, he slips and falls. Oh, tough luck there at about the 10-yard line, maybe the 9. Boy, Chandler cut, and when he did, he slipped. And it's going to be third down for the Saints. Boy, if he stays on his feet, Cliff, that might have been 6. So
yeah, I haven't seen that happen a whole lot with Chandler this season, but yeah, just a little slip on the turf out there.
At the 9, third down for Shiloh. Saints definitely want to get some positive yardage here. They'll send Griffin Mason in motion across the formation to the left. Cole back to pass. Pocket breaks down again. Rolls, fires back across his body. It's tipped and incomplete. Dangerous pass there. Wildcats knock it down in the end zone. He was trying to get it to Beach in the back corner, but very well defended by El Dorado. They had all 3 levels stopped to the Saint defense right there. Shiloh's going to elect to kick the field goal here from the 10-yard line to try to get some points off of this. 7:02 to go in the first quarter. But both defenses with their backs against the wall, literally in this one, have stood up big. El Dorado gets stuffed on a goal line stand by the Saint defense. Saints trying to add some points for Eastwood. It'll be a 26-yarder from the right hash. Snap is good, hold is good. Kick is on the way. It is up, and it is good. So the Saints get on the board. A 26-yard field goal by Aiden Eastwood with 6:55 to go in the first quarter. And it's a 3-0 lead as the Saints get on the board. So, Cliff, you couldn't stick it in the end zone, what you wanted to do, but not only did you flip the field after starting that drive at your own 2, you also put some points on the board.
Yeah, you wanted to come away with points. Like you said, you had a great defensive stop after giving up a huge running play. Saints drive down, but boy, they really hurt with a penalty. But the Saints are able to come off with an early field goal and the early 3-0 lead. I don't know if we've had a field goal to start any of our games this year. I mean, either we've scored a touchdown or our opponent has scored a touchdown, but for Shiloh to have a defensive stop and then come down, kick the field goal. Good start for the Saints. Need another defensive stop here.
We'll keep you up to date on the Marion and Sylvan Hills game. That one's big because the winner of our game plays that game. Marion missed an extra point, but they have scored. They lead Sylvan Hills 6-0, 6:35 to go in the first quarter. Eastwood kicks an angled kick. It's going to be taken at the 10, backpedaling there to the 15 to the 20 up the sideline. It's got a lot of room. 30, nice tackle at the 32-yard line as the return man right there, number 9, Bronson Brock, had a good return. Saints get him off his feet, but it's going to be a first down for El Dorado.
Yeah, and already just in 2 kickoffs and 1 offensive set for the Wildcats, you see just the speed and the athleticism that the Wildcats bring to the field tonight. We'll see if they can keep this pace up for the whole game. Shiloh would like to shut them down.
So first down, they're going to run the read option. The quarterback keeps it. That was a mistake. Hit in the backfield and stuffed right there. Well, it's kind of a jet sweep read. We see El Dorado like to run that play a lot. Quarterback read the keep, and that was the wrong one as Jacobs gets hit hard in the backfield. But Cliff, their quarterback Jacobs, he does like to run the football, so got to account for him. Here's a formation you don't see for El Dorado very much. 5 wide receivers. Quick pass is caught right up the seam to the 35 and then spinning his way up to the 38-yard line. It's going to bring up third down and long. El Dorado just decided, let's get some yardage, make third down a little bit more manageable here as they hit number 10, Paxton Strong, the senior.
Well, that's really where Jacobs, the quarterback position, is going to be successful. It's not going to be throwing downfield like Cole Creighton does. It's going to be little dump passes, and now you see a Saint defensive lineman jump across. That'll be a free 5 yards, and it'll probably be a first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Gonzalez jumps offside. So
defense number 90. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
5 yards gives El Dorado Wildcats a first down. Boy, you hate that, Cliff. You had them 3rd and 5, and you just kind of gift them a first down there.
Yeah, you really don't want to do that anytime during the season, but especially in the playoffs when it's such a big game like it is tonight. Penalties.
Quarterback throws it behind the line of scrimmage. It's caught by 4. Rowe hits him, can't get him on the ground, and they open field tackle there by Silas Nance at the 45-yard line. It's going to be a gain of 2 as he hit number 4, Christian Williams, out of the backfield. So I won't say senior for El Dorado because they're all basically seniors in the special unit tonight, but 9 of their 12 big guys that they're going to try to get the football to are senior Wildcats. Saints trying to hope this is their last game tonight at the 45. Quarterback's going to throw again. He's in trouble, and he's sacked at the 37-yard line. Saints get back there and get him for a sack. I think that's Matt Kimbrough who got the sack. So they tried to pass it right there, and now, Cliff, you get El Dorado where you want them, 3rd and long. Yeah,
3rd and long, but can't give up anything big here. Can't give up a big run, big pass downfield. Jacobs can throw the ball. I just said he's not as effective throwing the ball downfield as the short little dump passes, but he is effective downfield if we let him be effective.
4 wide receivers for the Wildcats. Quarterback back to pass, looking, in trouble, going to run. Now can he get the first down marker? Makes one man miss, and he fumbles the ball out of bounds at the Saint 49. He is short of the first down by about 2 yards, so it's going to be 4th and 2 for El Dorado at the Saint 49. Interesting decision here for El Dorado. Do you punt back up the Saints, or you just keep going for it and worry about a little momentum? Boy, he got a great spot, Cliff, all the way almost to the 48, so that makes it really 4th and a long yard for the Wildcats.
Yeah, and I expect to see Samuel, if he's in here, to get the handoff. He's number 6. I don't know if he's in the backfield or not.
Yeah, I think that's him. Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay.
Yeah, they have
Jersey's kind of wadded up.
They have 5 and 6 in the backfield, which makes it a little bit difficult, too. So Jacobs, the quarterback, on 4th down. Play clock's at 3. Back to pass. A little low in the flat. Throws it deep down the left sideline, and it is knocked away and incomplete at the 20-yard line. El Dorado tried to take a shot right there deep down the field. Saints said, nope, we got this, guys. It's knocked away, and so I think that was Silas Nance who knocked it away. The safety was back there, so incomplete, turnover on downs. And, boy, Cliff, you got to give the Saint defense credit. That's 2 turnover on downs on big 4th down plays.
Absolutely, and I don't understand the play call, Billy. You've got a great running back in the backfield, you don't have a real effective downfield passer in Jacobs, and they go for a big play. All they needed was a yard and a half, but it plays to Shiloh's benefit. We're back on offense now.
Saints going to shift around. Cole Creighton's a receiver to the left. Beach goes to quarterback here. Now they'll send Griffin, Mason, and Mosen. Hand off to Kemp. He's going to run it back this way. Dodges a man in the backfield, 40, 45, midfield, and he's going to be hit and knocked out of bounds at the El Dorado Wildcat 44, I think is where they're going to mark it, 44-yard line. So a creative 5-6 yard gain for the Saints right there. But yeah, kind of, Cliff, interesting you talk about El Dorado. J.J. Samuel had the biggest play of the game so far. 4th down twice. El Dorado's not giving him the football. So tried to be a little tricky, and both times Saint defense didn't let him be tricked. Back to pass. Creighton fires it deep down the left sideline. One-on-one with Kemp. There's got to be a flag. Oh, my goodness. No flag. Kemp just absolutely, the DB just grabbed him by the shirt and held on. No flag. A break for the Wildcats there. And it's going to bring up 3rd down and short. You see Coach Tucker Barnard just looking at the official down the sidelines, just threw his hands up and was like, guys, what I got to do to get a hold right there? Oh, El Dorado jumps offside, though. That's going to give the Saints a 1st down. So Cole Creighton with the hard count, the defensive lineman, he is screaming at his own defensive lineman. I'm not sure what's going on there, but it's going to be a 1st down.
Defense number 54.
For the Saints. So thank you, El Dorado. They gift wrap a 1st down. So both teams have done it early. At the 39, it's going to be a 1st down for the Saints. Handoff Griffin. He got a little hole this time to the 35, and he's going to go down to the 33-yard line. So a 1st down there. 3:57 to go in the 1st quarter. Saints with a 2nd down and short. Griffin Mason will be to the left of Cole Creighton. 2 receivers left. Handoff Griff going up the middle again. Makes one man miss to the 30. He's got the 1st down to the El Dorado 27-yard line. Gain of 6, but an efficient gain, a 1st down for the Saints with 3:35 left to go in the 1st quarter.
I know Shiloh would like to get a little running game going if they could, and not have to just key in so much on the pass game.
Griffin's going to carry it to the 25, down to the 20, pickup of 7 right there. And so, Cliff, we didn't have a lot in the running game early, but we kind of got Griffin going. We got a couple stoppages. About 2 different guys lost their helmet right there. Saw one roll all the way into the cheerleaders of El Dorado across the way over there. So players will shift out. The official's going to reset the play clock. But, Cliff, this drive, for the Saints, they haven't had the home run play, so to speak, other than one big play early, but they've been able to move the ball effectively. Handoff Griffin coming this way to the 15, and he's going to be knocked down at the 17-yard line. Saints had an offensive lineman down the field, but just couldn't get a block on the quick corner. Give El Dorado credit. Good job by the Wildcats of coming up and making the tackle. But it's going to be 3rd down and short coming up for the Saints.
Yeah, 3rd and probably less than a yard here, so very manageable 3rd down.
There's a keeper by Cole. 10, 5, get out of the way, ref. He's going to score. Touchdown, Shiloh. The biggest obstacle for the touchdown there for the Saints was the ref. As Cole was like, just pick a way, and I'll go the other way. So Creighton into the end zone. 2:37 left to go in the 1st quarter. And the Saints have a 9-0 lead over the El Dorado Wildcats. So good job by Cole. Pulled it right there and gets it into the end zone. Shiloh's kind of keeping it up, the look out there. They may go for 2 right here to try to make an 11-0 game. Kind of get a little bit of a bonus with that field goal. Gives you an opportunity to do some creative things here. 3 linemen out. They're going to hand it to Griff. He's going to throw it back to Cole over the middle, and it's knocked away incomplete. Griff didn't get enough on the pass, and got to give El Dorado credit. That's a pretty creative trick play right there, but the Wildcats were able to knock it away. So 9-zip score. 2:37 left to go here in the 1st quarter. Here's a replay of Cole's touchdown run from 16 yards out.
Yeah, great blocking. Look at the big hole Cole had to run through. The official just stands in his spot at the 10-yard line. He doesn't know really if Cole's going left or right, so he just stays still and lets Cole make the decision versus the official move left and Cole run him over or whatever. So sometimes those officials there in the backfield can get knocked over. You see that a lot of times in college and the pros. Guys running across there in the secondary. It's a dangerous spot to be, but Cole runs it in, gets the first touchdown of the night. It's a 2-score game, 9-0 Shiloh.
And Cliff, give a shout out, 62, Mason Mounts, that single block you saw out in the middle of the field, that was Mason Mounts blocking his guy 6-7 yards down the field to give Cole that lane for the touchdown. Eastwood's going to angle it this way. It's going to be taken at the 15. They're going to try to go the other way with it this time. Hit one play. Max Eldridge is chasing him, and Max catches him from behind at the 23-yard line. Great job by Eldridge as he was able to get the defender back there. So they just keep kicking it to Bronson Brock. And let me tell you, Cliff, that's not easy to say over and over again, Bronson Brock. But Bronson returns it to the 24 before he's taken down by Max Eldridge, and that's where the Wildcats will start. But now, Cliff, it'll be interesting if you're El Dorado. A little pressure on this drive. You're down 2 scores now. With 2:29 to go in the first quarter, you've done some good things, but you're down 2 scores.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a drive that El Dorado, like you said, down 2 scores. You've got to make something happen here. You cannot have a 3-and-out, punt it back to Shiloh. You've got to make something happen this drive and try to get points if you can.
Well, there goes number 6 again, and he's going to plow his way forward to the 29-yard line, gain of 5. So 2nd down and 5 coming up for the Wildcats.
And really what El Dorado needs to do, Billy, is they need to get back to who they are. We talked pregame. They run 70% of the time. We've seen a lot of passing here in this first quarter by the Wildcats. Haven't been real successful yet. So get back to the run game, the power run, and the RPO.
Oh, quick snap. They wasn't ready for it. They're going to hand it off to the running back. He gets it up to the 32-yard line, so kind of made something out of nothing. Good alertness by Jacobs, the quarterback, and we got a Wildcat down.
Yeah, and that's I think that's Samuel, the running back. He just like Jacobs at the quarterback position, he was not ready for the ball, and then Jacob just gave it to him, and then he just had to take off running. Max Eldridge came up and popped him. We've seen Max pop a lot of guys all season long. But if that is Samuel, well, he's feeling it here.
Yeah, he's a little slow limping to the side. That is Samuel who goes off. But maybe even the bigger part, Cliff, now it's 3rd and 3 for El Dorado, and maybe their best players limping off the field. So quick snap there. Not sure what happened with the El Dorado line. Got to give the quarterback Jacobs credit. He didn't panic, but he said, hey, I don't want to get hit. You take it right here.
The center was just ready to snap the ball.
He was ready to go, but he was the only one of the 11, unfortunately, for the Wildcats. 3rd down and 3. Let's see what they'll do. They'll bring in number 15, Jalen Dunn. He's a sophomore running back. Dunn's going to get the carry, going left side, and he's got the 1st down to the 40 to the 43. Dunn's kind of a tall, lanky running back, but he looked a little power move right there, the sophomore. One of the younger players for El Dorado that they'll run. He gets it up to the 43, and so that time El Dorado's Cliff, they kind of got back to the roots and just went power and got the 1st down.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of that, just the power run game here, and just try to have a sustained drive against this Saint defense here.
1:18 to go, clock running, first quarter. They're going to hand it off coming this way. Another run over the left side, and slipping at the 48-yard line is the running back Dunn. Again, he gets 5 on that carry. So we've seen a couple players slip early this game. It did rain hard all day yesterday, so the field may be a little slick early in this game. The official is going to spot the ball on 2nd down. 54 seconds left to go in the quarter. Saints up 9-0. A touchdown and a field goal and a missed 2-point try early. Quarterback, play action. Rolls this way, caught at midfield across the 45. Good run down to the 42-yard line. That's number 10, Paxton Strong, kind of living up to his namesake right there. Ran over a couple Saints and has a 1st down.
Yeah, Paxton Strong, I don't have his measurements, but he is a senior and pretty big kid out there coming out of the tight end, it looks like, position. And this is the drive El Dorado's used to. I think they just kind of got caught up early with the big run and trying to rush around a little bit. But this is the typical El Dorado Wildcat offensive set that we're used to seeing.
Dunn's going to take the handoff up the middle. Hernandez is going to get him, Xander Gonzalez rather, is going to get him at the 36. But a good run for the Wildcats on what will be the final play of the first quarter as the clock will run down here. And El Dorado is going to start the second quarter with a 2nd down and 4 as they've moved it into Saint territory. So we'll take a timeout and come back. We're at the end of the first quarter. It's Saints 9, El Dorado 0. You're watching Shiloh Christian Football.
Bowen Kemp Construction, your premier full-service construction partner based in Northwest Arkansas. We're the only regional firm offering pre-construction, construction, design build, and full commercial development services, including site selection. Backed by national experience and rooted in regional strength, we're committed to building exceptional spaces and lasting relationships. Your project will be seamless, safe, and on budget. Bowen Kemp Construction. Let's build something great together.
Welcome you back to Champion Stadium here in Springdale. Saints 9, El Dorado 0 as we get ready to start the second quarter. An update from that Sylvan Hills and Marion game. There are about 1:20 left to go in the first quarter. Marion has the football back with a 6-0 lead. We saw another scoreboard that had 7-0, so either the Sylvan Hills scoreboard is wrong or Hooten's online is wrong. One of them is too, but we'll take it. Either way, as we come back here, 2nd and 4 for the Wildcats. In motion, quarterback's going to throw. Now he's going to take off running. Francis is chasing him. Good cutback. He's going to get all the way down to the St. 26-yard line before Matt Kimbrough is able to run him down. But a good job there by the quarterback Jacobs turned into a running back and made a good little cut for the first down.
And that's really where Jacobs will hurt this Shiloh defense, is if we give him open run lanes, just like you saw right there. Jacobs, very good runner. He'll find the hole.
Hand off to the big running back right up the middle to the 15 and taken down there. So Jalen Dunn, got to give him credit. Once J.J. Samuel, the big running back, came out, Dunn, the sophomore, has come in and rushed it really well. And interesting, Cliff, when we watch film, Dunn really hadn't done a lot for El Dorado in the last few games, but boy, he came in big on this drive.
Yeah, some guys are just gamers on Friday nights, and Dunn looks like a gamer tonight. Good size and good speed and ability.
Quarterback power off the left side to the 10 is going to be chopped down at the 7-yard line. Silas Nance comes up to get him, but a good first down run of about 8 for the Wildcats. So 11 minutes to go here in quarter number 1, and it's a first down, and nice pickup of the first down. So 2nd down and about 2 for the Wildcats. Well, they were in this position earlier, and they got stuffed on a goal line stand by the defense. Quarterback's going to hand it off to 15 again. He's going to get his way down to the 5, but they're going to mark him, Cliff, about a half-yard short, it looks like. So 3rd down and about a yard for the El Dorado Wildcats. And, Cliff, I'm going to go ahead and call a run play right here. What do you say?
Well, they haven't had to pass it much, and they're having success on the ground, so I think you're right, Billy.
And we're going to go really old school, Cliff. It's QB sneak. And if the quarterback is stuffed at the line, he fell and spun, and he got it by an inch.
Yeah, this is going to be close if they have to measure at all, but they may go ahead and give them the first down, and they do. So El Dorado will have fresh set of downs at the 5-yard line, just inside the Shiloh 5-yard line. So it's 1st and goal. So now El Dorado has 4 plays to get it in the end zone. Shiloh has 4 plays to keep them out.
Well, they're going to keep Dunn in the backfield. They're moving him around to the right. St. defense going to change something up. Quarterback power left side makes one man miss. Trying to get outside, makes another man miss. Can he get to the pylon? He can. Touchdown. Great run by Jacobs as he was in trouble in the backfield. Saints guessed the play right, just couldn't get him on the ground. El Dorado sticks it in the end zone with 9:52 to go here in the second quarter, and they're on the board as a 9-6 game, and they will immediately bring on their field goal kicker to try to make this a 9-7 game. So give El Dorado credit. The Wildcats with a long run down the field right there, and with their drive, they get the first points of the night. Extra point coming, and the kick is up, and it is good by their kicker. Saints got a bit of pressure, but they could not quite block it. So 9:52 to go in the first quarter. We'll see the replay here, but the Wildcats are on the board. It's 9-7.
Yeah, just no help on the backside, and you see Jacobs just doing a few little jukes, using his quickness and speed to get to the outside. Coach Holly was pointing to watch the outside. All the plays going to the left. Jacob sees everybody leaking left. He bumps it out to the right for El Dorado's first score of the night. A drive that took 4 minutes and 37 seconds, and that's just typical El Dorado Wildcat football. Passing a little bit, running a whole lot, and they had success running that drive.
So the Wildcats have it a 2-score game, but, Cliff, if you're El Dorado, you're a little obviously frustrated with the first drive of the game, but what you do have to like, we're 9:52 to go in the second quarter. The Saints have had the ball twice. So they've gotten points both times, but you kept the Shiloh offense off the field, which is the key to victory if you're El Dorado.
Absolutely. That's what El Dorado wanted to do coming into this game. They want to keep the ball out of the Saints' possession, because they know with possession and drive after drive after drive, the Saints can put up some points. The teams that have had success against the Saints through the years limit the possessions Shiloh has. And like you said, 9:52 remaining here until half. Saints are just now about to start the third drive.
Well, Cliff, I saw the kicker look into the sidelines. I was just about to say, be alert. They onside kicked against Jonesboro. It's a short little pooch punt, and Tate Barnard's got it to 31, and Tate's going to be taken down after a 1-yard return, which that's fine there. Just a pooch kick, you're not going to get much out of that. Just catch it and get up the field as best you can. But they onside kicked against Jonesboro a couple weeks ago, and so they will try some trickeration a little bit from the kicking game. Got to be a watching. At the 32, though, Saints pretty decent field position as they will start this drive. Like to get a touchdown on the board, get it back to a 2-score game if you can. 9-7 with 9:48 to go here in the quarter. Saints will go trips to the right. El Dorado, they've given up a lot of space to Beach on the inside slot here. They'll shift Bodenstein in motion to the left. There's a snap, handoff. Griffin's going to go left, trying to get outside. There's a flag down as Griffin's thrown down after no gain. There's 1-2 flags down, so I think it's in the area of holding, Cliff, and it came out so quickly. That's probably likely the call there.
During the run, holding, offense number 68, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
So that was the call. Both officials just conferring with each other. Hold up the middle. So Shiloh will back up 10 yards from where the hold was. So it looks like it was right at the line of scrimmage at the 32. So we'll bring up 1st and 20 here now for the Saints. Saints on their own 22-yard line.
Well, let's see what the Saint offense can do. Kemp's going to come in motion across the way. Play action, Cole back to pass. Screen coming this way. It's caught by Griffin to the 25, and he's out of bounds there. Good job by El Dorado. One of their defensive linemen read the screen and used the sideline to his advantage, pushes him out of bounds. Saints tried the little throwback there. They get a yard, and that's it. Quick update from Sylvan Hills. Marion with a 12-0 lead as they are late in the first quarter. The Patriots on the road at Sylvan Hills with that lead right here. Saints 9, Wildcats 7 at the 23. 2 receivers to the right. Cole back to pass. Looking, pocket breaks down. He's in trouble, gets away. Good job by Cole there. He's going to throw it deep down the sideline on a comeback, and it's caught at the 43-yard line. What a catch and what a throw. Good job by Creighton. He was in deep trouble. Kemp comes back to get it. And of all the reactions, Cliff, of the whole stadium, an El Dorado fan just got up on the stands and just threw his hands up. It's a 21-yard pass and a first down for the Saints, but the fan over there was the most entertainment on the play as he was frustrated of that pass. Good execution by the Saint offense there. First down. They're going to hand it to Griffin Mason going left. Nothing doing for Griffin. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Saints have just not had anything really to go with Griffin on the ground on the left side a little bit. So, Cliff, we've run Griffin a lot tonight, just not a lot of yardage. We
have just not holes, and you got to give El Dorado credit so far. They're doing a great job stopping the run game. They did a great job last week against Lake Hamilton, holding Lake Hamilton only 200 yards rushing.
There's Griff on the carry again. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, falls and spins forward for a yard, but that's it. At the 45-yard line, that line defensive line of El Dorado doing the job so far. 3rd and 9 coming up.
Yeah, Griffin 8 carries on the night, just 23 yards. He had 3 carries in a row of 6, 6, and 7 yards. Everything else has been a loss of a yard or a gain of a yard here. So not a lot of running room for Griffin Mason so far.
El Dorado shows blitz. They're kind of giving the Saints a taste of their own medicine, standing up the defensive line. Cole back to pass, fires down the left sideline, got a man, caught, 25, 20, put it on the scoreboard, touchdown Saints. Fires it right down the sidelines, 55 yards for the touchdown.
What a great play call and what a great throw by the junior quarterback, Cole Creighton, as he just threads the ball. Now the receiver, Chandler Kemp, was open, but he threaded it between the deep safety and the cornerback, Garden Chandler Kemp. And not every quarterback can make that throw. They'll throw it over their head. They'll throw it short. It'll be picked. But Cole Creighton right on the money to a senior receiver. Beautiful, beautiful play.
Saints are going to go for 2. This is really important. It would put you up 10. And in the way this game has kind of gone, you want to kind of keep this thing 2 possessions if you can. So big play here, even though it's an early 2-point conversion. Creighton going to throw it back. Screen is going to be caught. Can he get in? Kemp spins. He does. Good job by the senior wide receiver, Chandler Kemp, as the Saints go with kind of a throwback tunnel. Love that play call for the 2-point conversion. It's 17-7 with 7:58 to go in the first half. As you see the replay coming up of the pass from Creighton to Kemp from 55 yards.
Good protection for Cole there, but look at that pass. Actually, there's 3 defenders there. Not close coverage in the secondary on Kemp, but again, give Cole Creighton credit. He has to put the ball on the money, and he did. Beautiful play.
Yeah, Cliff, I was talking to Coach Barnard last Wednesday night after we filmed the coach's show, and we were just talking about Cole Creighton and quarterback that he and the things he can do. And Coach Barnard came from Stillwater and talked about having both of Mike Gundy's sons at quarterback and the way that they could do some different things. But he specifically mentioned how Cole can make the deep pass so accurately, and you saw it right there. That's a difficult pass in between 3 defenders, and Cole put it in there perfectly in a big touchdown. 17-7 Saints. And, Cliff, I kind of felt like coming in this game, you almost wanted to Mike Tyson punch El Dorado. Just hit him with some big plays early, and that was a big play. It's a 9-7 game, 3rd down, and you hit him for a touchdown.
And with that catch by Chandler Kemp, as you see the kickoff fielded at the 15.
Big hit at the 20.
Saints great coverage on the kickoff unit, but that catch by Chandler Kemp helps him to surpass the 1,000-yard receiving mark on the season. So Shiloh with 2 1,000-yard receivers with Zane Slider, 1,100 and some change, and then Chandler Kemp over 1,000 now. So congrats to Chandler Kemp. He's had a great senior season. He's going to UCA to play baseball. So Chandler Kemp's really good on the football field. He's really good on the baseball field too, and he'll be continuing his education there in Conway on the baseball field.
At the 21-yard line, 17-7 Saints now leading, 7:54 to go. An important drive for the Wildcats. They scored on their last one, but the last thing they want to do is look up and be down multiple scores here. There's a quick screen coming back this way. They got some room. From the 25 to the 30, and the umpire on the field, he's had an adventure tonight trying to get out of the way of a tackle right there up to the 33-yard line. First down for the Wildcats. They saw the tunnel screen that we ran, Cliff, and ran their own version of it for the first down.
El Dorado doesn't need to get in a hurry here. Shiloh would like them to kind of get out of their what they're accustomed to and what they're comfortable with. But El Dorado needs to do what they did on that last drive. Just keep pounding on the ground, having success.
Handoff up the middle is going to be chopped down, and that's number 6, Samuel, back in the game. And he gets greeted rudely as he's pounded by the Saint defensive right there, Max Eldridge. Max has gotten him twice, Cliff. He nailed the first one and nailed him again.
Yeah, Max just a sophomore, 2-year starter, started last year as a freshman. Well, Max just seems like he's a senior out there. I mean, he is just seasoned veteran out there on this Saint defense.
There's a handoff. They're going to come this way with the running back again. He's going to get up to about the 40, gain of 3 on that play, but you talk about the hits, Cliff. You see Samuel, one of his offensive linemen had to help him up. He was a little bit slow hitting the hole there. Those hits have kind of added up on him a little bit early, and seeing that, El Dorado sees it too. They go with Jalen Dunn, 15, who's been super effective in this game on 3rd and 3. Got a feeling this ball is going to go to Dunn. Hard snap, and the Saints jump off sides. So El Dorado gets what they want as an offsides. We'll give them a first down.
Defense number 42. 5-yard penalty results in a first down.
Yeah, you just got to be a little more disciplined there if you're the Saint defense. I mean, 3rd and short, Jacobs, the quarterback's going to come in with a little hard count. Got to be disciplined. Don't give up easy penalties for first downs.
So at the 45-yard line, first down for the Wildcats. They're going to pitch it this way and in trouble this time and hit behind the backfield at the 44-yard line. El Dorado is going to lose a yard, but more importantly, at the 39-yard line is a big yellow flag, and they're going to get Paxton Strong, the H-back tight end, right there with a hold, it looks like.
Holding. Offense number 0. 10 yards from the previous spot. Replay first down.
So now that's important as it puts El Dorado in a first down and long, as they'll have first down and 20 to go through. At the 35 for El Dorado, 6:15 as we'll get ready to hit. We'll get the clock going. There it goes, 6:15 to go. El Dorado empty backfield. Quick hitter is going to be right too strong. He gets kind of pinballed and hit by a couple Saints and then knocked down at the 39-yard line. Short gain of 4. But El Dorado, we've kind of done that. They've kind of done that a few times tonight on first down and long. Just a little quick, kind of hit up the seam, little slant, see what they can get. If they can get any yardage. They really had some effective slant in the slant game against Jonesboro a few weeks ago who gave them that. So that's something they can do effectively on the offensive side. But 2nd and 16, really like to give them nothing here. Pass out in the flat, call it the 40, some room. They're going to get up to the 46, maybe the 47-yard line. That's number 4, Christian Williams with the reception. So 3rd down and 8. Big play here, Cliff, from the momentum of this game. You just kind of feel it. If you're El Dorado, you keep the ball. If you're the Saints, man, you get a stop right here. You could be up really big double digits really quickly.
Absolutely. This is a huge down for the Wildcats, and to keep their drive going here, 3rd and 8. We'll see if the Saints can stop them.
So at the 47, center turns and says something to his quarterback. Back to pass. They want the slant. It's not there. Quarterback's going to take off running. Can we get him down before the first down marker? He's out of bounds at the 46. He's a yard short. Let's see where they spot him. He gave him a very
generous.
Oh, my goodness. That's super generous spot. It's going to be about halfway between the 45 and 46. So 4th down. El Dorado needs to get exactly on the 45. So on the football, you can see they need about a half yard. 4th and 1. No hesitation. They run an extra offensive lineman on the field as they've got the biggest power formation to the left you can get. Quarterback takes the snap. He's going to hand it off. Hit the backfield. He doesn't get it. He's stuffed again. El Dorado, 2nd time in this game that they have been inside on a power play, and the Saint defense has stopped them. There's going to be a turnover on downs, and the Wildcats are unable to get Book to do it. And, boy, Cliff, if you're an El Dorado Wildcat right now, you're thinking, man, we are a power-running football team, and twice tonight when we've needed a yard, we couldn't get it.
Yeah, they couldn't get it. I mean, they put in extra linemen in there, a hefty package, if you want to say, to kind of create a hole just to get a yard. They couldn't do it. Give credit to the Saint defense for blowing that up, coming off a block, not being blocked out of the play, and just making the stop behind the line of scrimmage for the 3rd turnover on downs in 4 drives.
Great job by the defense in short yardage, winning the battle, even though El Dorado, as we mentioned, put in extra offensive linemen, still couldn't overpower. 1st down here, play action. Cole's going to look. He's going to run. He throws it sideways. I think he's above the line of scrimmage, and he throws it incomplete, intended for Kemp. Cole, I believe, was above the line of scrimmage. Man, it was really close.
Yeah, to me it looked like, just from my eyes, looked like about a yard past the line of scrimmage there. Cole's got to realize that a little bit. So it'll be an illegal forward pass. Back Shiloh up.
Illegal forward pass on the offense, number 6. It's a 5-yard penalty, results in a loss of down, 2nd down.
So we see Cole a lot of times roll out like that, Billy, throughout the season, and he is right at the yard markers. A lot of times he'll throw it before the marker and do what he needs to do there. A lot of times he'll just take off running. That's probably a play he should have kept running. Looked like he had some running room in front of him.
Yeah, Cole was trying to hold the line of scrimmage but couldn't do it. So loss of 5, and it's a loss of down. So 2nd down, Cole in trouble, sacked. Back at the 29-yard line, El Dorado, they've gotten pressure on Creighton tonight. That's the first time they've gotten a sack as they finally get him bound. And the El Dorado defense, when they've needed something big, they have come up with big on this drive. Saints are all the way back at their own 31, needing to get to the inside the El Dorado 45 for a 1st down.
Yeah, 10-yard loss on that sack.
So 3rd and 25 coming up for the Saints right here. Now, you know the aggressiveness of Shiloh. If they can get a yardage right here, obviously they'll probably go for it on 4th down if you can get it around midfield. But you got to get a bunch of yards here. Creighton back to pass, flushed out of the pocket, going to throw this way. It's going to be caught by Beach, and he's going to be taken down after a gain of 15 at the 46. But 4th down and 10 with 3:50 left to go and the quarter. Now, Saints are going to hurry up to the line of scrimmage. This may be one of those they'll just see if they can get El Dorado offsides. Boy, El Dorado nearly didn't get a man off the field. That might have been what the Saints were trying to do as they subbed a defensive lineman who barely got off the field. Saints are going to use a timeout. So that'll be their second of the half, 3:33
Timeout,
left to go
Shiloh Christian.
in the first
Second
half.
timeout
Saints
in
will
the
decide
first
what they
half.
want to do on 4th and 10 from their own 45, leading 17-7.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do here. I mean, I'd probably punt it. Ball at the 45, and there's no wind here, so nothing's blowing in Cole's face if he were to punt it. Shiloh obviously has multiple plays that you could pick up 11 yards. That's what you'd like to do. I wouldn't rule out maybe a fake some type here. Put Cole back in the punting formation and then run one of your receivers and let Cole fake a punt. Maybe he passes it to and gets a completion, picks up a first down here. So we'll see what Coach Barnard and his staff choose to do here on this 4th and 11 play.
3:33 left to go in the quarter, and so Cliff, I'm going to give the audience a part of our text message we were throwing around this week. We talked about a lot on the broadcast, winning the middle 8, which is the last 4 minutes of the first half, first 4 minutes of the second half. We saw a stat this week as we were talking about college teams who win the middle 8 win 75% of the games that they play. So you got to feel like high school, it may even be higher. Saints are going to line up in a unique formation, but Creighton's in. He's going to punt. There's nobody back deep to El Dorado, so you just hope this thing rolls down to about the 1. You get a good kick. You like that. It's going to roll dead at the 12-yard line. So Coach Barnard just says, let's punt it, pin them back a little bit, play a little field position with 3:21 left to go in the half. Wildcats have 2 timeouts, and they will start this drive at their own 12-yard line. So, Cliff, we're not a big punting team here at Shiloh, not something we like to do, but I kind of like that call right there. They've got the one explosive play, but explosive plays isn't what El Dorado does. They're going to kind of have to, quote-unquote, work for the touchdown. Now you're going to make them go 88 yards in 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, their lone scoring touchdown 2 drives ago took 4 minutes and 37 seconds, and they weren't taking their time going down the field. That's how much time it took them to get down the field. Like you said, you've got 88 yards the Saint defense does to protect.
Pass in the flat, and he's drilled in the backfield all the way back. Well, they give him forward progress to about the 6, but I can assure you there is nothing that number 4, Christian Williams, feels about Ford as he got drilled by the Saints, and he's still down.
He's feeling it right now. That's just a textbook read and tackle by the Saints there. And so you do hope, as you see the replay here, you do hope that Williams is okay, but boy, you just have to know that plays like that happen. And look at that textbook hit and tackle come in. And who was that?
Zach Rowe.
Zach Rowe coming in and making the stop.
Well,
and that's what you teach. That's what you work on in practice. That you want your opponent to feel it. And right now,
Christian Williams
is feeling it as he's gingerly walking off to the sideline over there.
But Cliff, that's one play. El Dorado loses some yardage, but that also plants in the mind of every El Dorado player. Man, they run that bubble screen again. I got to watch out. Somebody's coming to get me hard. So it's a physical tackle.
6-yard loss after that play there. And again, talk about being great in the middle 8. We're in that point of the game, and Shiloh has a defensive opportunity to be great here in the last few minutes of the first half, and then get your offense back on the field for sure in the second half. Maybe they come back on here in the second quarter, but for sure Saints will get the ball.
Snap, handoff to the running back. He breaks a couple of tackles at the initial line of scrimmage and gets it all the way out to the 12-yard line. So 3rd down and 9 coming up as Samuels gets 7 there. Good job by Samuels just kind of bouncing off some guys and getting the first down, but a big play right here. 3rd down and 9 for the Wildcats. 2:39 left to go in the half. If you're the Saints and you get a stop right here, you have a timeout. You got to feel like the coaching staff will probably use it and try to get the football back. Hard count twice there by the quarterback, Jacobs. No jump. Saint defense is going to make the adjustment that they want to make. See if the Wildcats use a timeout. It'd be interesting to see if they get the play they want. Play clock's at 5. Snap, quarterback. Going to run it around this side, and he's taken off his feet at the 18. He's 19-yard line, short of the first down. They handed to Samuels, had a whole bunch of guys pulling right there. Saints stuff it, so 4th down. Silas Nance got him out of bounds. Saints call a timeout with 2:10 left to go. And to go, the El Dorado coach Chris Hill is pointing something out at the Saints sideline. I think he might have just been confirming Shiloh took the timeout. So, Cliff, great job by the defense. You had them backed up, and you get a 3 and out.
Yeah, absolutely. Great job by the D here. And now it forces Coach Chris Hill's hand a little bit. Does he want to gamble on this 4th and 4 and try to keep a drive going here with 2:10 left in the second quarter? You're down 10 points. If you don't pick up that first down, you give Shiloh a really short field, and you're just in a bad spot there. Or do you really, the conservative and probably the more prudent play is to go ahead and punt and then just hope that your defense can stop Saints. The Saints are going to have a whole lot of time left on the clock. We know that they can score very quickly. But, I mean, if I'm Coach Chris Hill, I'm probably just punting the ball here. I'm not risking anything, giving Shiloh a short field.
Update from that Marion-Sylvan Hills game. Marion has turned it over downs late in the first half. Still leading, though, 12-0 at Sylvan Hills. The winner of this game gets the winner of that game.
So Shiloh's got to be very careful here. Watch a fake. You cannot
jump off sides.
Can't jump off sides, pick up give one an easy first down. Can't rough the punter.
High snap. Can he get it off? He does. Great kick. Beach is going to have to just let this baby roll. Oh, it takes a good Saint bounce, though, at the 45, and El Dorado will have to down at the 46. Boy, we were fortunate there. There were 5 Wildcats who could have let it roll, not only kill clock, but also kill field position, and it checked up. Great job by the punter there of El Dorado. And you see Coach Holly talking to Tucker Barnard. He wanted him to lay out. Tucker Barnard's son Tate, he wanted him to lay out right there, see if he could block that kick. But
well, 2 came at the punter, and they kind of pulled up a little bit. The punter kind of jumped into him. He was trying to draw the foul. Thankfully for Shiloh, the guys got out of the way and didn't touch him.
Yeah, well, either way, if you sure you'd love to have a block punt, but you sure like having the ball at the 46 too. First down for the Saints. No timeouts rather for the Saints. Pass. Oh, Kemp can't hang on to it. Would have been a first down at the Wildcat 43, but couldn't hang on to it. 2nd and 10, 1:58 to go in the half.
Only the second incomplete pass by Cole Creighton tonight. He's 8 of 10 passing, 208 yards here. 1 touchdown here in the first half. Very, very good numbers.
Cole at the 46 with a 2nd and 10. El Dorado is going to rush 3, drop 8 right here. Different look, screen coming this way. Flag down. It's called the 50. Slider to the 40. He's down to the 37-yard line, but the flag is at the 47. And it was thrown very, very quickly by the umpire, so probably not going to go in the favor of Shiloh, you wouldn't think. Cliff, I wonder if they're thinking about a legal man downfield and they're talking about whether or not the pass is behind the line of scrimmage. To have this much discussion, that's the only thing I could think of at this point.
Well, how good are you at reading lips, Billy?
Not very good.
What does the official on the left say?
I felt like he did catch the pass behind the line, but obviously that's what I want to think right here because that's a benefit to Shiloh if he does.
I mean, there's a lot of discussion here, so it'll be interesting to see what the call is.
Well, they're talking to the other official, and they may be asking.
There's no foul on the play. The result of the play is a first down.
Okay, that's what it was. They were just saying it was a legal man downfield, but the pass was behind the line of scrimmage. So it is a first down for the Saints to go through. And, even Cliff with a legal man downfield, the play happened so quickly to get 2 to 3 yards down the field would have taken some effort by an offensive lineman. But either way, it's going to be a first down at the 37 El Dorado. Clock will start running now with 1:47 and going in the first half. No timeouts for the Saints, so they have to manage everything correctly here. El Dorado, 3 guys standing up. That's what they're going to rush. Back to pass, Creighton fires, caught at the 24-yard line and then taken down there as El Dorado get him. Well, officially, they waited a while to blow the whistle. You can see Slaughter was frustrated, too. He kind of flipped the ball back hard to the official like, man, I got 3 guys dragging me down. You can call that. At the 25, though, first down Saints. Creighton, quick snap, going to run it this time, and we got a whistle. And did El Dorado use a timeout? Well, interesting that El Dorado used a timeout right there. That stops the clock with 1:25 to go in the first half. And so I thought initially when they blew the signal, Cliff, that maybe the chains weren't set because the Saints had gone so quickly. But El Dorado says we'll let the play go as far as we can, and we'll just kind of reset on defense. Cliff, I find it interesting on this drive from El Dorado defensively. You've seen a rush 3, drop 8 into coverage. They're like, nobody's getting behind us here. We're going to tackle you and make you score, make you drive it down the field right here.
Well, and the Shiloh receivers are taking off running downfield like they're on a go route, and they're stopping, turning, and Cole's put the ball right on the money there. So those are tough to defend for the secondary because you're just running with the receiver, not knowing when he's going to stop. Shiloh puts the brakes on, turns around. Cole, again, great job of putting the ball on the money where his receivers can catch it. Even the throw that was incomplete just a few moments ago, Cole had it there. Chandler just dropped it.
Yep. But the Saints have overcome it so far at the 25-yard line of El Dorado. Again, no timeouts for Shiloh, so they got to manage the clock effectively here. But with the Saint offense, obviously the yardages and the thing, just get tackled and get back up to the line of scrimmage. Manage the clock right with no timeouts. Creighton and the official kind of having a conversation here. I think he may be just telling the junior quarterback, hey, you don't have any timeouts, so confirming that with him. So it's a first down at the 25. Empty backfield for Cole. Blitz coming. Throws it deep down the right sideline for Slaughter. Incomplete. That time El Dorado changed it up a little bit. They had been rushing three. They came with a blitz that time and overthrew it a little bit. Marion and Sylvan Hills is now 12-7 as Sylvan Hills has scored late in the second quarter at that game, like obviously at Sylvan Hills. Second down and 10 at the El Dorado Wildcat 25. Cole Creighton has Slaughter to his right. Looks that way. He's going to throw back to him, and the pass is caught. And did he catch it inbounds? It looks like he did, and is out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That's enough for another first down, gain of 10. And the Saints have moved it right there. So great play right there. You get the first down, you get 10 yards, you get out of bounds. Good football. And at the 15-yard line with 1:15 left, and Cliff, you've managed the clock well enough here at the 15. You can run the football here. You still have plenty of time. Griffin Mason is in the backfield to the left of Cole Creighton. Now they're going to empty him out, empty backfield. Trips to the left now. El Dorado's going to blitz. Cole sees it and just goes down at the 25. Just had no shot right there. He was trying to throw it quick to the flat, but he just didn't have any time. So back at the 24. And Cole did a good job of getting down before he came to the middle of the sandwich right there by El Dorado. They blitzed off both edges and got there. 58 seconds left to go in the quarter. Saints will get up to the line of scrimmage. Beach is going to come in motion. There's the snap. Cole back to pass. The screen coming this way. Caught. Charlie at the 20, cuts inside to the 15, and now he's going to get out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. Good pickup there, and more importantly, Carroll gets out of bounds with 43 seconds left. So Saint offensive staff says, hey, if you're going to blitz us, we'll just screen it over you. And they do a good job of it down to the 13-yard line. But it is third down and 8 with 43 seconds. So, Cliff, this is where you have to be good on special teams, even though it's third down, because if you get stopped in bounds, you're going to have to run your field goal unit out without using the timeout because you won't have one. So if that's what you want to do, you'll have to get them ready. Creighton back to pass, fires. It's knocked away from Kemp. Good job of the defensive back of El Dorado of knocking it down at about the 4-yard line. So fourth down for the Saints, 38.3 left to go. Ball's at the 13-yard line. It's going to be, if you kick it from here, about a 30-yard field goal from the right hash. So we saw Aiden Eastwood make one from about 25 earlier. Saints trying to decide what to do. They don't have a timeout. Play clock's at 14. There's the play call that's going to come in. 38.3 left. Saints elect to not kick the field goal here. Cole's going to have to hurry. Play clock's at 4. Gets the snap. Back to pass. Looks left. Got time. Rolling left. Now the pocket breaks down. He rolls all the way back to his right. Now back to his left. Creighton still looking. Throws it in the back corner of the end zone. It is incomplete. Knocked away by El Dorado. It was intended for Beach in the back corner, and that time they just dropped El Dorado. Everybody dropped into coverage, and Cole just threw it to the back corner, and it's knocked down. So the Wildcats get a big defensive stop here with 24 seconds left to go in the first half with a 17-7 Shiloh lead. But if you're El Dorado, good job there. They don't give up any more points. And so, Cliff, I would think here El Dorado probably not going to get real cute, but this may be one of those plays. They just hand it off to number 6 and say, hey, can you bust another one for us?
Yeah, and Shiloh need to be prepared for that. They've got to be ready in the secondary and make a wrap-up tackle. When you have an opportunity to make the tackle, put the pads on him, let's get him down, and let's run this half out.
Now the quarterback's sending off a player. They had 12 men on the field, but they fix it before the snap. Quarterback's just going to take a knee, and that's where El Dorado is going to end the first half. The Wildcats don't want to take anything cute.
Clock's not running.
Yeah, clock's not running, but it'll go, and then El Dorado is going to take it to the half. So 20 seconds left to go. The clock will run out as El Dorado is already jogging down the sideline toward their locker room. So, Cliff, it's first half, Saints haven't really been able to take that knockout punch, but defensively, 2 huge fourth down stops. And the Saint defense is kind of carrying the way tonight, a 17-7 halftime lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we thought coming into this game that the first half would look like. What's the second half going to look like? We'll have to wait and see. Shiloh scores on their first 3 drives. They open the game with a field goal, 2 scores, and you have to punt, turnover on downs, where El Dorado took them a little bit to get going. 2 turnover on downs, scored a touchdown, another turnover on downs, punt, end of half. So just neither team, I feel like, probably feels real comfortable in where they are. I mean, yes, Shiloh's got to feel way better because you're up 2 scores, which is great. But I don't know if either coach is going into halftime feel like, okay, we know we can do this. We know we can do that, because both teams have struggled throwing it at times and running it at times. So we'll see what happens as we begin the second half of being great in the middle 8. As you said, Shiloh will get the ball coming out of the half, looking to put another score on the board.
So we'll kick it down to the halftime. The El Dorado Band, who took the 5-hour trip up from South Arkansas, they're going to perform for us, so you'll see them along with the Saint Band as well at halftime. So halftime or score, Shiloh 17, El Dorado 7. We'll be back with the second half in just a little bit. You're watching Shiloh Christian Football.
Favorites with Pretty Fly by the Offspring, Mic Drop by BTS, and Land of 1,000 Dances. This year's drum major is senior Joseph Potts. The band is under the direction of Melissa Greer, Melanie Long, Tim Mullinax, and Alexander Michaels. Drum major, is your band ready? Take the field. Ladies and gentlemen, the band would like to thank all of you and their band parents, administration, alumni, and the El Dorado School District for their support. Thank you all, and great job, Wildcat Band. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the field the Shiloh Christian Marching Band. This season, the band is taking us on a trip down New York City's Broadway Avenue and showcasing some of the most popular Broadway musicals of all time. Sit back and enjoy The Phantom of the Opera, Little Shop, and Wicked. Ladies and gentlemen, the directors of Shiloh Marching Band are Stephen Hunt and Chris Emmert, with color guard coach Lisa Renaro and drum major Caden McKinney. The band earned a first division superior rating at the state marching contest and placed 5th overall with a score of 82.1. The band is proud to be sponsored by CertaPro Painters of Northwest Arkansas. Go Saints and go Shiloh Christian Marching Band. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please welcome to the field your Shiloh varsity cheerleaders. And now taking the field, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Shiloh Dance Team.
Your whole team been on a stretcher. Wonder why they don't see the vision. They on Helen Keller. Yeah.
Yeah, we been at it. This is faithful mixed with fight. Yeah, promise nothing good won't happen overnight. Yeah, we been in the dark so long it's only right. Yeah, now we see light. Yeah, and we stay down through the breakdown. We was down low, now we great now. And it's up, 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 yeah. And we up, 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 up.
All them shots, they left me holy, but I'm still holy. Ain't nothing changing but them seasons, Brody, I'm still holy. Demon scheming, read Ephesians, seen it, I'm still holy. Jesus, heathen seeking, he the reason I'm still holy. In the dark, in the light, messed up, got right. In the day, in the night, no change, it's smoke forever.
Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, up north, South Side, we are the tribe, the tribe.
Nah, I thought it was for them.
New member.
This message can't go back to the sender. Toy with the tribe, smooth in the mix, no blender. Yeah. You hear me? Devil get mad when he can't get near me. Still no change with all my jewelry. I'm always down like every time you try to go get a McFlurry. Wait, you hear them horses? That's the tribe with me. Extra piece in this game like Monopoly. It ain't on me, you see me biology. She called me baby cause he fathered me. Is you gang or you not? Tell the truth, shame the devil, don't lie to me. Don't play psychology. Curse his name when he changed my heart. Just walk to the light if you living in the dark. In the light, messed up, got right. In the day, in the night, no change, it's smoke forever.
Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, up north, South Side, we are the tribe, the tribe.
In the dark, in the light, till the day that we gon' die. Ain't gon' be no switching sides, ain't gon' be no dagger. I'll give it up if it's up, all of my dead ass. Spit up and never that I repent it. Living my best life, pushing my limit, job, filling up my day full of my dead ass. Yeah, who wanna smoke? I'm trying to get it if I gotta go. Still holy. How do I know? I'm about to get in cause I know the host. Still holy. Back to the ropes, thinking these logos by the boat low. Cause the no for show that the bell gon' save me. Tucking my chin, I ain't worried about Hades.
All them shots, they left me holy, but I'm still holy. Ain't nothing changing but them seasons, Brody, I'm still holy. Demon scheming, read Ephesians, seen it, I'm still holy. Jesus, heathen seeking, he the reason I'm still holy.
In the dark, in the light, messed up, got right. In the day, in the night, no change, it's smoke forever. Midwest, East Coast, West Coast, up north, South Side, we are the tribe, the tribe.
Ayy, he's here. Baby, you still see me beaming. I'm running the west, but I walk in the kingdom. I be in the mood to put lead in the demon. If I'm getting stoned, I do it like Steven. I'm Odell in the flag, the tat on my neck, the cross on my back. You look up a smoke, you know where it's at. The sound of them horses is God coming back for real. Take what I have for real. I stay in my bag for real. My name in his hand for real, my dog.
Out the kennel, they forget I'm a dog. Sent for help and they didn't pick up the call. Saw the prince that he forgiving it dog. Big brother done fulfilling the law. Still holy in the whole world.
Welcome back to Champion Stadium for second half of 6A quarterfinal football. Saints 17 and the El Dorado Wildcats 7 as we get ready to start the second half. So Cliff, sort of a slow developing first half in some ways. El Dorado kind of managed the clock the way they wanted to do and kind of shorten the game, but Saint defense, 2 huge fourth down stops.
Yeah, absolutely. You got to give the defense credit. They have played well, and they've been playing well all season long. And like I said last week, or 2 weeks ago now after the bye last week, 2 weeks ago I said, man, they have just continued to improve week after week after week through the conference season, and we're continuing to see the defense play at a very, very high level here. I mean, we've seen some big-time hits by our Saint defense from Max Eldridge and Zach Rowe, and El Dorado has definitely felt that. They've had a couple guys help themselves off the field because of the hits that they have been taking. So Saint defense are playing great. You're holding an opponent here in the quarterfinals of the state playoffs to 7 points in the first half. Shiloh being held way under their average too, 17 points. So you've got to give El Dorado's defense credit for keeping Shiloh's offense in check here. It's been one half of play. We still have a whole second half, and Shiloh's going to get the ball first. Maybe we can see this lead extended.
Yeah, and you talk about, Cliff, El Dorado offense complementing their defense. Their offense has been able to sustain drives. They've gotten stopped a couple times, but they've been able to keep it on the field. And El Dorado, to their credit, other than really just a couple plays, they have been able to stop the explosive plays from the Saints. But Shiloh deferred to start the game, so El Dorado rather decided to take the ball. So Saints are going to get it to start half number 2. So we talked about the middle 8. Well, the middle 4 was 0-0. So we'll see what the final 4 minutes of this middle 8 looks like. But love to get a touchdown. Boy, Cliff, if you feel like if you can just put El Dorado down 3 scores, man, that would be such momentum to start the half and just really give them an uphill climb with what they want to do offensively right here. So let's see what they can do. Wildcats kick it off. Really good kick. Going to be taken all the way back by Slider at the 15 to the 20, gets outside 25, just stiff-arming guys as he can, stays in bounds. Good return by Slider, almost up to the 40-yard line, so did a good job of getting also to the sideline where his wall, so to speak, was set up, and then pushed the man out of bounds right there at the 40, around the 40-yard line is where Shiloh will take over first down. Kind of an important drive. If the Saints get a touchdown right here and add the PAT, they would be up 3 scores in this game, and maybe you put El Dorado in some spots they don't want to do in this game a little bit. But a stop and a score, and it's a 3-point game. So big drive right here. If the Saints, what adjustments were made at the halftime, we got Bodenstein and Creighton in the backfield. Cliff, I feel good about whoever throws the ball right here out of the backfield. Now they're going to shift, and they're going to put Bodenstein at a tight end, Griffin Mason to the left. Kemp's going to come in motion across the formation on first down. Handoff, Griff coming this way. 2 pullers, big hole, 45. Griff to midfield. Griff to the 45-yard line of El Dorado, just running over Wildcats right there. Great job right there. Saints pulled a couple guys on the offensive line, and they had some big holes. Griff gets up a little bit slowly after that one. He had a couple guys pushing the ground. I don't think he's going to – he may – let's see. They're trying to figure out what the play. Griffin's unsure what the play call is. Saints are going to have to recall it in. They'll shift Bodenstein to the right, trips left, all-out blitz coming for the Wildcats right here. Creighton sees it, throws a deep bomb down the right sideline. It is incomplete diving effort at the 18-yard line. There's a flag down at the 41-yard line in the El Dorado backfield. I'm going to do a quick count, Cliff. I think they had 12 men on the field.
Well, I'm counting 11 now.
They ran one guy off.
Ineligible player downfield, number 68, offense. 5-yard penalty, replay second down.
Okay, so it's an eligible man downfield of the Saints. El Dorado ran a man off at the end of the play, and I didn't see anybody come on, but it could have been that they were just mad at a cornerback for making a mistake or something and yanked him off. Eligible man downfield brings up second down and 15 for the Saints. There's a snap, handoff right up the middle. Max Eldridge. Max is just going to get about 3, maybe 4. Oh, El Dorado saying they took the ball away from him. Max will keep fighting at the bottom of the pile. There's just a mass of humanity, and El Dorado did. They just took it away from Eldridge on the run play up there. So big 99 on the defensive line with a turnover, and El Dorado gets a big turnover to start. So the first one of the game goes against the Saints as El Dorado takes over on downs at the 47. And boy, that's not what you wanted at all, Cliff, a turnover to start the second half.
Not at all. It looked like Max's momentum had stopped, and he's just kind of being held up there. Whistle's not blown, I guess. Ball ripped out. So big turnover for this Wildcat defense on the opening drive of the second half as the Saints are trying to get in the end zone, have a little more separation. But El Dorado said, no way, not right now. They get the ball back in really good field position.
And the Wildcats start with an empty backfield here, first down. Watch the quarterback run right here. He's going to bubble this way. Quarterback, he thought about running. He didn't go very far and dropped at the 41-yard line. Miller got in the backfield and dropped him. So an interesting play call, to say the least, from El Dorado team that likes to run it. They went empty there, tried a quarterback draw, and Saints were all over it. Lost back to the 41, second down and 15. So both offenses have done bad things so far here to start the second half. Man in motion this way. They're going to run the jet sweep coming this way. Cuts it up the field, the 40, 45, and makes a man miss, and is going to be out of bounds around the midfield stripe. They'll say he gets into Saint territory to the 49-yard line. A gain of 9 for El Dorado, so third down. So they chopped 9 yards off of that 15 that they needed. And a manageable third down, but a 3rd and 6 for El Dorado at the Saint 49. Shiloh turned it over to start the second half with a fumble, but the defense, which has played well tonight, trying to respond one more time. That power look to the left for El Dorado. They're going to run it this way. Running back's going to get really close to the first down marker, but I believe Samuel's going to be about a half-yard short. So 4th and 1. I don't think there'll be any hesitation by the Wildcats to go for it here. Got to love Cliff Samuel to set the ball down and marked it himself about a yard further down the line. Ref caught it, though. 4th and 1. El Dorado power formation to the left. They run it this way. He's hit the backfield and stopped again. 4th down, stop again for the Saint defense. And Max Eldridge says, well, you may have taken it away from me before, but I got you right here. Dropped in the backfield for a 4th down loss, the 3rd time tonight El Dorado has had 4th down and 2 that they've been stopped. The 4th time they've turned it over on downs.
Absolutely. Again, we just talked about the Saint defense, how well and how much improvement they are showing week after week after week, and they continue right here tonight, November 21st, to play at a very high level and in key positions, key points of the game. 4th and 1 for the Wildcats, and the Saint defense blows it up in the backfield and gets, and we're going to have probably a false start on Shiloh here as the Wildcats are showing a blitz, and it looked like Cohen Beach may have taken off. He was just trying to stop a block, so it was kind of brought on by the movement of the defense there. But Saint defense, 4th and 1, key opportunity after El Dorado just got a turnover, and the Saints stop El Dorado on 4th and 1.
So again, the Saint offense, though, with a penalty, go 1st or 2nd down and long, 1st and 15. Cole back to pass. Quick screen coming this way. He's called at the 40. He's going to be taken down at the 48-yard line of Slaughter. Pretty good job by the defensive end of El Dorado. He saw screen. He just got there fast enough to catch Slaughter from behind. He had some blocks set up. Saints have thrown that backside screen multiple times tonight, and El Dorado answers it there at the 48, 2nd and 7. Quick snap. Cole didn't see it. Now he's in trouble. Trying to throw it, can't. Sacked back at the 37-yard line, and Creighton took a shot from behind. It wasn't Cole's fault there. The quick snap, and Cole just had no shot. Back at his own 39, now 3rd down and long. So the Saints with a rare mistake right there on offense, and the Wildcats have got the Shiloh offense where they want it, backed up at their own 40 with 3rd down and 15. Kemp's the one receiver to the left. Play action here. Saints going to leave man in protection. Cole fires down the sideline. Beach falls down at the 38-yard line of El Dorado, so the pass goes incomplete. Beach was right down the sidelines, and Cole was trying to get it to him, but Beach slipped and fell, and it's going to be 4th down, and the Saints will keep Creighton out, but this time not to pass. He will punt it away. So El Dorado with 2 stops of the Saint offense at the 9:08 mark of the quarter. Shiloh will run a kind of a different formation. El Dorado's not adjusted to that either time the Saints have run it. There's a snap. Boy, man, comes free off the edge. Cole sees it and kicks it to the 40, and it's just going to roll dead at around the 36-yard line. Great job by Creighton of awareness. They had a man unblocked off of Cole's left side, and he kicked it away. Only a 24-yard punt, but it could have been going the other way. Creighton had not seen the free man coming. So, Cliff, the defenses have made a statement to start the second half.
They really have, and, if El Dorado wants to get back in this game, their offense has to do something. Shiloh, I'm not saying they're okay with how things are going, but it's catch-up for El Dorado. Shiloh can punt, they can fumble, they can give the ball away. But as long as El Dorado's not scoring, Shiloh's in good shape because they're up 2 scores.
At the 36, quarterback going to throw, got a man open, caught 45. The 47. Well, they kept running the bubble. This time they pumped and hit Jackson Pagan down the left sideline to the 47-yard line. So quick hitter and a 1st down for El Dorado. Gain of 12.
And you've got to wonder offensively, not so much for El Dorado, but for Shiloh. You're off last week. You have a bye.
There's a run play. The running back's going to take it down to the Saint 47-yard line. That is Samuel. But, yeah, Cliff, that's a great point.
And, the Saint offense was rolling 2 weeks ago. Now, you got to give El Dorado credit. They're a quality opponent. They've got a lot of good athletic guys out there. So you got to tip their hat to them as well. But Shiloh offensively just a little bit out of sync today. And maybe it has to do with the bye week and just the schedule not being what it has been.
Samuel's going to take it down to about the 42, 43-yard line. It'll be right at the sticks. I think they're going to give it to him. Yep, it'll be a 1st down for El Dorado at the 43. Wildcat 1st down. They've gotten a couple here on this drive and moved it into Saint territory. 8:10 to go in the 3rd quarter. Shiloh 17, El Dorado 7, but the Wildcats have the ball and on the move at the Saint 43-yard line. 2 receivers left. Back is Harrell in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff going right. He's going to get back to the line of scrimmage. So Samuel gets a yard, and that's about it for El Dorado right there. Good job by the Saints. And so, Cliff, I found it interesting tonight how much El Dorado, and it may just be their offensive line, but they have really run the ball to their left, the Saints' right side of the defensive line a lot.
Yeah, maybe that's the strongest part of their line there. I mean, they have had some shifts over to the right, but they've run away from that at times, trying to confuse the Saint defense maybe.
Quads right, Saint's going to back up and come. Quarterback's going to throw a quick hitter. It's going to be caught by Strong, and he does a great job of just diving forward to the 33. So he was tackled by Max Eldridge, the 36, and just kind of lunged his way forward to about the 34. Well, they didn't give me as much forward progress as I thought, so it's going to be 3rd down and about 2 for El Dorado. They put Dunn, who had a lot of success in the first half. The sophomore running back is in the game. No Samuel. Little interesting there, but Dunn really ran well in the first half. Got to think he's getting it here. He does. Going right. Hit the line of scrimmage. And in the backfield again, Max Eldridge. Boy, Max is loving him some 3rd and 4th short yardage tonight all over the El Dorado running back.
Yeah, and just no respect by El Dorado against the sophomore linebacker, Max Eldridge. They probably see little number 0 out there thinking, hey, we're going to run at him. No, you don't want to run at 0 because he's going to come up, he's going to pop you, he's going to make the tackle.
So at the 36, 4th down for the Wildcats. They send a man in motion on the jet sweep. That's going to be Williams. They don't hand it to him. Now Williams will go slot left. El Dorado's going to get the play. They've got Dunn in the backfield. Play clock's at 9, 6:16 to go in the quarter. Snap back, looking. Quarterback's going to run. Can he get the first down? He does to the 30-yard line. Good job by the quarterback. Jacobs didn't have much, but he was able to scramble and get a first down, and El Dorado moves the chains and converts a 4th down this time in Saint territory.
Yeah, Jacobs has good genes. His dad was a quarterback at Arkansas State back in the day, so Jacob knows how to run the offense there from the quarterback position, doing a good job tonight.
So empty backfield right here for Cannon on 1st and 10. They're going to run the bubble behind the line, caught at the 35, and he lumps on, man, he fumbles the football, but I think he got back on it. Does at the 34. El Dorado is going to lose yardage, though. They went back to the bubble screen to Williams, who was injured earlier. Good to see him come back, but loses yardage there. It's going to bring up 2nd down for El Dorado. Lost yardage on the play.
And Jeremy Samuel, number 6, back in the game, so he's been in and out a little bit after getting banged up a little bit in the first half, and he's really what makes this El Dorado offense go.
Williams is in the slot right. They look his way. They're going to pump through the screen back this way. Nothing doing. Xander Gonzalez, a big defensive lineman, sniffed that one out. And there's going to be a man down for El Dorado as Gonzalez came from his defensive line spot, and as the receiver came back over the middle, was hit hard and knocked down there. So El Dorado will check on their injured player. He kind of throws the mouthpiece. Whoa, the trainer said, no.
Get up a little
Stay
sooner.
down. Stay down, Bronson. I need to check some things first. So we got some sponsors of 2025 Shiloh Christian Football, legendary level sponsors, GL Services, Roush Companies, Mr. Sparky, the Frame Family, elite level sponsors, Bassett Home Furnishings, Chick-fil-A of Springdale, Bowen Kemp Construction, Chick-fil-A Springdale, champion level sponsors, Prism Pool and Outdoors, Firebrand, Arvest, Reliable Poultry, Quality Millwork Incorporated, Advanced Primary Care, Roush Companies, Ty King DDS, Fastlane Entertainment, Stubbs Center for Cosmetic Surgery, Harp's Food Stores, C.R. Crawford Construction, Smith & Davis Orthodontics, Osage Air, Wright's Barbecue, Bacchus Concrete, Midland Industrial Services, Prestige Hormone Health and Wellness, and Arkansas Children's Hospital Northwest are champion level sponsors of Shiloh Saint football here in 2025. Saints trying to keep 2025 going, and a playoff game up 17-7 here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to run a little end-around reverse right here. Saints trying to stretch it out, trying to get to the corners. El Dorado, they can't. Down at the 31-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down by a good bit. So 4th and 11 for the Wildcats. They tried a little bit of a trick play with an end-around with a different receiver we haven't seen tonight. Saints were ready for it, did a good job of stretching it out, keeping contained, and then let somebody come up and make the tackle. 4th and 11 for the Wildcats. They're definitely going to go for it here, Cliff, but boy, a chance for the defense on another 4th down to get off the field.
Absolutely. This is a great time for the defense to step up again. They've done it all night long. We'll see if they can do it here on 4th and about 12 for these Wildcats.
Quarterback back to pass, in trouble, gets away, gonna roll, throws down the field. It's caught by Strong at the 18, and he's down there. He has the first down, though. We got an offensive lineman who kind of does a flop in the back of the field. Nothing going on there, but great job by the quarterback. The senior one for El Dorado made a play, rolled to his right, even though he's a left-handed quarterback. Cliff did a good job of getting it down the field.
Yeah, tough throw, rolling to your right with a lefty, just like it'd be for a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left and throwing across his body. He hits his receiver right across the middle, picks up the first down.
First down, El Dorado. They're going to run it to Samuel. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Great physicality by the Saint defensive line. He's at the 20, inside the 20 to about the 19. Gain of maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd 9. That's kind of generous for El Dorado here.
So this is a 4-down territory for sure for El Dorado. At this point in the game, approaching 3 minutes left here in the third quarter. Again, El Dorado just one score on the night, one touchdown. They're 2 scores behind the Saints. They have to make every drive count.
3:10 to go, clock running, pitch play coming this way. Samuel cuts it up to the 20. He's going to be pulled down at around the 18-yard line. Good job by the Saint defensive line on the pitch. Just a good old-school power football play there for the Wildcats. Saint defense held up. You know, Cliff, one thing I'm noticing, you got several of the offensive linemen of El Dorado really kind of limping around, hand on hips. Those guys are getting tired up front, too, as the Saint defense has been physical with them.
Yeah, it's been a battle along that line of scrimmage all night long.
3rd down and 8. Saints are pretty far off the receiver to the right. The hard count there. They haven't really thrown it the way of Hammett out here to the right. We'll see if they look that way. He's got one-on-one coverage if they want to go there. They're going to hand it off, coming this way to the 15, and then sliding down at about the 12-yard line. Short of the first down is the running back Samuel. So J.J. carries it there. It's a manageable 4th down and 3 for El Dorado. Now the Wildcats are going to need a field goal at some point, and they're going to take it right here. So the ball's going to be spotted at the 19, 29-yard kick from the left hash.
Got a little crosswind here, Billy, from the right to the left, west to the east.
So El Dorado with a field goal. Saints defense trying to jump around, make a move. They don't. Good snap. Kick is nearly blocked, and it is no good. He missed it wide left. Well, the Saints got a lot of pressure, and the kick floated to the left. No good. So a big missed opportunity for the Wildcats there with 1:49 to go in the third quarter. And Cliff, again, the Saint defense gets off the field and does their job.
Yeah, they have allowed 1 score tonight. They have created or stopped El Dorado 4 times, turnover on downs. They forced a punt, and now you force a missed field goal. Shiloh made a field goal to open up their scoring. Here's the replay. So you can look, it's kind of hard to see that if it's left or right or if it's good, but it looks like it was left. The officials, no hesitation there. Saints take over.
1st and 10 Saints. As they're going to run it to Griffin Mason. He's thrown down in the backfield. Actually, that wasn't Griffin Mason. That was the running back, Charlie Krell. But Charlie was thrown down. El Dorado was sent a blitz off the Saint right side, and Krell had no shot. A lost play in El Dorado. Got to give them credit on 1st down tonight. They have done well against the Saints. Saints have had a lot of 2nd and longs.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of pressure in the backfield. I mean, just like the Saints are pressuring and making stops along that line of scrimmage, El Dorado doing the same.
Bodenstein's going to shift and swap places with Krell. Play clock's at 12. Saints are good there. They'll send Charlie to the right. Cole's going to take the snap, back to pass, fires out in the flat, caught at the 15 to the 20, up the field to 23, 24. The chains go flying right there as players go sliding into the sideline there. Beach with the catch. Beach will get it from the 17 out to, they're going to spot it at the 20, well, we'll say 24, gain of 7, but 3rd down for Shiloh and 7 at the 24-yard line. Saints have not scored here in the second half. Had 17 points in the first half, nothing to do. I think, Cliff, if you just watch, we just haven't gotten in tempo tonight, just no rhythm to be able to go fast. And it's kind of been a challenge for us at times tonight to get in rhythm on offense.
Well, and you've got to give, again, El Dorado credit for that. They have disrupted the Saint offense, showing some different looks, and it looks like the chain is broken, as you see there on your screen. So we'll have an official timeout for them to fix the chain and get it ready to go here. We do have extra sets if needed. So you see the chain gang over there. Thankless job, but they're there, and big part of the game. Week in and week out, got to have them. Got to know where that 10-yard mark is.
Yeah, you're not kidding about a thankless job. I did it one time, Cliff, and I was like, I'm good. That's you hear a lot of things on the sidelines.
You wouldn't know this or wouldn't think this unless you do it like you're saying. The chain gang gets yelled at.
Yes, they do.
I mean, officials get yelled at, but the chain gang, who are at most schools, I would say, at this level, are volunteers. And they're getting yelled at by the opposing fans at times.
Third down. Saints got to get a first down here. Just need to give the defense a little bit of blow. El Dorado's had a lot of success with blitz. They show another one off the edge right here. Now he backs off. Here he comes. Back to pass. Quick hitter to Beach. It's going to be caught at the 28, but he's short. Beach got hit and tackled immediately. So, again, the blitz came off the right side. Creighton saw it, fired into it, and completed it to Beach. But a good job by the secondary of El Dorado is on fourth down. Now the ball is at the 28.5, 29-yard line, 4th and 1. Saints going to go for it. Well, if you don't get it here, you give El Dorado great field position. So this is an important play. Beach is in motion, hard count. El Dorado doesn't show anything as they've got 6 guys on the line of scrimmage, and the Saints are going to burn a timeout, decide if they want to go for it here on
Shiloh
4th
Christian,
and 1.
their first timeout of the second half.
To go in the third quarter.
I don't know what this play is, Billy, but we've seen it several times throughout this season. And it is a called run for Cole Creighton. So whatever the play call is, where Cole, it gets a little seam and he drops back and he just cuts it up the middle, surely he can pick up 1 yard. I mean, we've seen it all season long. So we'll see what Coach Barnard addresses with his team and what they call to come out here. But I would like to see Shiloh keep this ball, pick up the first down, keep this drive going. 52 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. So this game is kind of just slowly seeping away, but the Saints, again, have a 2-score lead. El Dorado tried to cut it to 1. Their last drive missed the field goal. So we'll see what the Saints draw up there. They're talking about it. You know, the Saint playbook, as you know, from a coaching in youth league, a lot of options with this Saint offensive unit to draw up here.
Well, 4th and 1, and let's see what the Shiloh decides to do. They're going to go with a power formation. Beach is going to come in at quarterback. Eldridge is going to replace Charlie Krell. So Shiloh is going to go for it. Now, unless they got a trick play up their sleeve of some for it, this is going to be just a power to the left. Saints are going to bring in an extra offensive lineman into the play. El Dorado's really packed the middle. Saints kind of have them outnumbered on the left. Quick snap. Eldridge hitting the backfield. Breaks the tackle. He gets to the 30. I think he's short, Cliff. It was close, but I think he's short. Yeah, he's short by about the nose of the football. Well, they gave him the first down. Oh, my goodness. Well, you got both sides clapping, so we'll see. The head official gave it a first down. Maybe they measure this. I don't know. El Dorado thinks they got to stop. Saints are like, can we run a play before you change your mind? So everybody's talking about it. The head official is over by the El Dorado sideline right now, trying to get Coach Chris Hill back on the field.
Well, it's hard for us to see, Billy, all the way across the field. It looks like the first down marker is at the 30. The nose of the football looks to be at the 30. But boy, El Dorado is not happy about that. And could this be just a huge, huge call in this game here?
Well, that's a 1/4 of an inch that went the Saints' way right there at the 30, first down. Play action. Cole's going to keep it, and he's going to be hit and taken down at the 31-yard line. Kept it on the keep, didn't give it to Kroll, just kept it. Not much doing there for Cole, but from what the Saints have been dealing with here in the third quarter, a lot of lost yardage plays on first down. At least this one's not. 2nd and 9, though. But, again, not a lot of explosiveness. You got Kemp one-on-one to the left. Let's see if the Saints try to take advantage of that. You see the El Dorado safeties are kind of creeping up a little bit. There's a good run play. Is up to the 39-yard line, maybe close to the 40. Is Max Eldridge. It's going to be about a half-yard short. So 3rd down, they're going to spot it on the 39. So 3rd and 1, Max rips off 8. Saints are going to see the third quarter clock come to an end. So that's the way we'll end the third quarter. Saints 17, El Dorado 7. It's been a great football game in this one. And so, Cliff, you got to be happy if you're the Saints. You have a 2-score lead starting quarter 4.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been catch-up for El Dorado the whole game, and they have not been able to get over the hump. They've had opportunities, but the Saint defense has shut the Wildcats down. And in a first half for the Saint offense, that a lot of the offensive output was through the air. Cole Creighton, so far in this game, 15 of 21 for 278 yards. But, boy, he started out that first quarter with 200 yards passing, threw for a touchdown, and it looked like Shiloh was just going to air it out over this Wildcat defense. But both teams have kind of gone back to the ground, and I would say El Dorado maybe has had more success on the ground. They just don't have success of getting it in the end zone.
Yeah, El Dorado's really probably, if you ask Coach Chris Hill what he wanted this game to look like, this is probably what he wanted. If he told you he had 17 points to the Saints, he would be happy. So to tell you about the speed of this game, Cliff, the Sylvan Hills-Marion game is about to kick off the second half. We're starting the fourth quarter. So it tells you the speed of this game. Marion's done a lot of what they wanted to – sorry, El Dorado's done a lot of what they wanted to do tonight, but they have not been able to stick it in the end zone. Only 7 points on the board. Saint defense has done a great job. But third down and an inch for the Saints. Boy, they really need a first down right here. Keep the clock moving, keep the chains moving, and nothing else. Flip this field. Make El Dorado drive the length. Wildcats think they're going to run it close. They're going to send everybody up the line. Max has got the first down across the 43 to the 44 to the 45. He pushes forward. So 5 hard-earned yards for the Saints right there. Great job by the offensive line. They just blew El Dorado off the football there at the 45-yard line. So you kind of beat the Wildcats at the game they want a little bit right there. Mentioned that Marion Sylvan Hills game. It's 18-14 Marion as they start the third quarter down at Sylvan Hills. At the 45, 2 receivers right for the Saints. 1 back to the right. Cole with a couple hard counts. He's going to play action to Max. Man coming. Rolling right. Cole's going to, there's a flag down. It's going to be caught at the 44 by Kemp, and he's going to be out of bounds there. Now the flag came from the official who right where the football was thrown. So I'm going to assume this is holding on El Dorado, but we will see. The fact he spotted the ball, Cliff, is probably a good sign for us.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the flag was thrown back from the side official back to the secondary. So it's going to be a hold on El Dorado. And I think, let's see, the completion was for 8 yards.
Yeah, you'll take the 10 and the down really is equally important right here.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. Yardage results in a first down.
So it is a 10-yard penalty. Saints will take the hold because that will give them a first down. So instead of 2nd and 2, you'll obviously take the 1st and 10 at the El Dorado 45-yard line. Cliff, you're going to have to explain to me why they spotted the ball in the left hash.
Yeah, I'm not sure unless that's Shiloh can choose where they want the ball after the penalty. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean, the ball was on the right side, and then they moved it way over to the left side.
Yeah, at the 45. That's interesting. Maybe we missed something there. Kemp is going to come in an orbit motion behind the back. Hand off Eldridge, batching outside. Max fighting for all he can and is thrown down at the 44-yard line. So good job by the Marion. I keep wanting to say Marion. El Dorado defensive back right there, number 1. So just you kind of look out there for El Dorado and just seniors everywhere. That was Ja'Cory Lunny who made the stop. At the 44, it's going to be 2nd and 9. Saints only with a 1 yard there. Hard count by Cole. That kind of tips off the blitz that El Dorado wanted to run right there. They've really blitzed primarily tonight with number 5, Brown, off the edge. It's been effective for him. They're going to come with it again. He's blitzed up the middle. Cole sees it and throws it to Slaughter, but it's low. Caught at the 43, but just no opportunity to keep going forward as El Dorado sent the blitz again. So Brown off the edge has been effective for him a little bit tonight, at least making Cole throw it quickly. But Saints have also had some success with the screen game off of that. So at the 43, it's going to be 3rd down for the Saints. Cole, he's going to run it up the middle, and he's got the first down, and he slides down at the 31. Smart, heady play by the quarterback. Cliff's tapping his head over here.
Well,
that's what you want to see.
I love that. I love the play call. He hasn't had a crease up the middle all night long. Had that play call, and Cole runs it up the middle for the first down and gets down, more importantly.
Quick hitter to Slaughter down to the 22. That's going to be really close to the mark. Let's see. Official is stopping it on the far sidelines. He's telling the guys to move the chains. Okay, the official didn't mark first down until after the ball had been set, but it's a first down, gain of 10 on the screen. 9:33 left to go. There's the handoff coming this way. Max going to bounce it outside to the 20, chopped down at the 18-yard line and knocked out of bounds there by El Dorado. But unfortunately, there's a yellow flag at the 22 in the middle of the offensive line of Shiloh. So this doesn't look good for the Saints.
Holding. Offense number 52. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Well, Billy, by my count, that's 8 penalties on Shiloh tonight, only 2 by El Dorado, so they played a very clean game. Saints having a few more penalties than they would prefer probably tonight, but still it's first down, first and long for the Saints. The really important thing, again, 17-7 Shiloh. El Dorado's playing catch-up, 9:25 remaining in this game.
At the 32 is where the Saints will be backed up. Cole fires, quick hitter to Beach. Beach catches it, but taken down immediately at the 28. Short gain of 4. Second down or the third down and long coming up. So at the 29, it's going to bring up, I said it's third down, it's actually second down. The down marker kind of flipped back real quick, so I had to check that there. So second down at the 29-yard line. Saints are going to go empty here for Cole back to pass. String coming. Blitz coming, caught by Slider, 25-20. Sliders to the 15. Boy, fights off a defender, drags another defender down to the 8. That's a demoralizing play for El Dorado. They blitz. Saints had the right play call, and Slider just drug 2 defenders 21 yards down the field. And you see both of those guys for El Dorado kind of getting up, limping a little bit after the play. They better hurry and get set because here comes the Saint offense. Handoff coming Max to the right to the 10, being chased by the defensive lineman, makes a man miss. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 5. But unfortunately, I think we're going to get a flag on the Saints. I'm not sure if it's a blindside block or what may have been called there, but penalty marker down at the 6.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense number 19. Penalty is half the distance from the end of the run. First down.
Well, that helps tremendously. A personal foul face mask on El Dorado as that. I didn't see that live, but we'll take it. And Cliff, I'll tell you, number 0, Poole for El Dorado. He got laid out by a Saint on the block right there. Well, El Dorado's defense, they look like they're reeling a little bit here at the 2-yard line. These guys are standing up, hands on hips, slipping around a little bit. Saint physicality bothering. Handoff Max going right. He's going to get to the 4, and then he's going to be pushed backwards there. So one of the big defensive linemen. Boy, got to give credit for El Dorado. Number 99 on the big defensive line, Gavin Briggs. Just a sophomore. Is El Dorado, Cliff, they don't give us size and weight, but if I'm 99, I'm like, put my size and weight on the depth chart. Man, he is a big physical kid. And as we mentioned, a Wildcat is down in the end zone. You could kind of tell they were really slow getting up, but got to give their defensive lineman credit. He's also the one who recovered the fumble down here off of Eldridge as well. So they've been aggressive in the interior D-line tonight. Yeah, they really have, and El Dorado's done a great job at it. They've been very successful. Again, holding Shiloh, who came into this game averaging 50.5 points, and this El Dorado defense has held Shiloh to 17. So I think if you're Coach Chris Hill coming into this game and you're thinking, man, there are 8 minutes left in the game, Shiloh, we're going to hold Shiloh to 17 points, he probably thinks they're winning this ball game. But unfortunately, his offense, the El Dorado Wildcat offense, has not been able to just put it in the end zone. They've had opportunities, but the Shiloh defense has stifled those opportunities by 4 turnover on downs, and that's just been a killer for the Wildcats. Now the Saints, with 8:04 remaining, they're at the 4-yard line. It's second and goal, and boy, I really feel like if Shiloh can punch this in, that may be the last blow that these Saints need to win this quarterfinal game and move on to the state semis next week. Yeah, big defensive line for El Dorado will try to hold up. The injured player was Jaquavion Hampton, sophomore defensive back, so they'll sub out a defensive back. Looks like they're going to go man-to-man on the corners out here. So, Cliff, we got Kent one-on-one at the top if we want to look at that. Now they're going to shift the safety over there to go through. Max Eldridge is the running back at the 4-yard line. There's a snap. Max is coming right. He tries to hurdle a man and does. Gets down to the 1. Doesn't get in the end zone, but it's going to be third down and goal from the 1.
That's kind of a fun play.
That was a little fun, yeah. I don't know that we've seen Max hurdle anybody this year.
Yeah.
He's done a lot, but I don't think we've seen a hurdle.
We got a great view there of the spot of the ball right at the 1-yard line. Love our camera crew. They do a great job every game throughout the season. They get all the great angles. There's another one right here.
3rd and goal at the 1. Let's see if the Saints can punch it in. They'll shift Slaughter to the left. Kemp is over there as well. Play clock's at 15, so the Saints are good there. Creighton's got Eldridge. They've got Bodenstein as an H-back to the right. Hard count, handoff, Max. Cuts inside, touchdown Shiloh. Big touchdown for the Saints. 7:06 to go here in the 4th quarter. And the Saints, when they needed a drive to maybe put the final nail in the coffin of El Dorado, they do it right there as Eldridge comes in and the Saints get it in. And, you know, Cliff, what you love about that drive, and I guarantee the coaches will say this to each other, hey, you just took El Dorado and what they want to do of being physical football, and you just beat them at their game right there. Touchdown for the Saints, 23-7, extra point coming with 7:06 left to go in the quarter. Snap is down. Aiden Eastwood's kick is hitting a car in the parking lot. That's a good sign. Saints 24, El Dorado 7, here with 7:06 to go in the 4th quarter. And we've got the replay coming here for Max's 1-yard touchdown run.
You saw a great hole there created by the offensive line. I was a little skeptical if Shiloh's going to continue to run at the interior defensive line of El Dorado, but they did. And, man, you got to give our offensive line credit. They just took their guys, created a hole, and just willed their running back in to the end zone for a very, very important score with 7:06 remaining. Shiloh 24, El Dorado 6. And, Billy, maybe another key number here that I'm seeing on the stat sheet. That drive by Shiloh, 6 minutes and 43 seconds. That, number one, we don't see Shiloh do 6-minute drives very often. But in a game like this where, man, the guys are just knocking helmets at the line of scrimmage all night long, you can just really wear down a team with a 6-minute drive, and the Saints just did it.
Aiden Eastwood's going to kick it off. Now you got to cover this kickoff to the 20, to the 25, trying to get outside the 30, 35, 40, midfield. Eastwood's the only one left. 40 to the 35, maybe he slowed him down enough. There's going to be a man taken down at the 21-yard line. I'm checking the field there, no flags. It's a great return by El Dorado, and boy, the Wildcats, who needed something good to happen, they get a big kickoff return and set them up at the 21-yard line. So,
yeah, just a lot of open field on the left side here on the kickoff team. You had everybody kind of crashing. You and I are up here in the booth, and we got a bird's eye view, and we're just looking. You're seeing a speedy receiver back there catching the kickoff, and a whole lot of green grass on the Shiloh sideline. El Dorado found it, and they've got great starting field position.
Short field for the Wildcats at the St. 21. Zip motion to the right to the 25. Gets a block to the 20. Cuts it inside to the 15. Good open field tackle there by Silas Nance as he gets the running back on the ground at about the 14. A pickup of 7, second down. Now El Dorado, not a team that really wants to go tempo. They don't have much choice here. 6:33 left to go in the game. 24-7 lead for the Saints. They've got the running back, 6, Samuel, back in the game. They're going to fire it out in the flat. It's caught, breaks a tackle to the 5, and runs his way down to about the 3, I think. I couldn't see the number, but that looks like Strong. I think that was him, or
7.
maybe 7. Okay, that was 7, Hammond. Hammond, maybe his first catch of the night. Hammond and Strong, kind of a similar body type. Power formation for El Dorado here. They're going to run behind Strong, and Samuel breaks a tackle, dives, and gets in the end zone. 6:02 left to go, and El Dorado says we're not dead yet. Wildcats with a quick touchdown as they get it set up with a long kickoff return, and they get it down to the 20-yard line. So El Dorado, I would assume, would kick the extra point. Yeah, they'll kick the extra point here, try to make it a 10-point game with 6:01 left. And boy, Cliff, the one thing you couldn't have was what you gave up right there. So the defense has played well tonight, but you really put their backs against the wall.
Absolutely, you did. I mean, you give El Dorado a good athletic team with a little momentum, and the kick is up and the kick is good. A little momentum there that they score quickly, but it all went back to the kickoff. Here's the replay of the touchdown score. They just find a little crease on the left side. Saints have a shoestring tackle there, tackle by the ankles, but he's just dragging the Saint defender into the end zone for the score. And so this game's not over yet. I was feeling pretty good just a moment ago when Shiloh scored, but I wasn't expecting a big kickoff return like that. So now you got 6:01 remaining here, Billy. You've got some options if you're El Dorado. Do we try an onside kick here? Do we go ahead and kick it deep and then rely on our defense to stop Shiloh? Some options. We'll see what Coach Chris Hill decides. The good thing for Shiloh is with 6:01 remaining, you're still up 2 scores. So it's still catch-up mode for the Wildcats.
We got our Prism Pools and Outdoors play of the game. We'll try to get that in with you really quick here. And at some point in the next timeout we've got, El Dorado's about ready to kick it off. So 6:01, exactly a half part of the fourth quarter and a second left to go through. We'll give you a quick update from that Sylvan Hills-Marion game. Marion's 25, Sylvan Hills 14. With about 7 minutes to go in the third quarter, Sylvan Hills has the ball and driving.
And some other games, Bryant 35-0 over Fayetteville. Conway 35-24 over Bentonville West. Bentonville 27-7 over Springdale. Rogers 35-0 over Little Rock Christian. And Benton 21-7 over Mountain Home. So
El Dorado's going to pooch kick it. Saints are going to fair catch it. Boy, that was a great heady play right there by 18 Griffin Mason. Knew who's the only guy back, knew he didn't have a return set up, just fair caught it and got it. So first of all, also glad to see 18 back on the field after getting a little banged up earlier in this game. But so, well, Cliff, we had a 6-minute drive.
Please reset the game clock to 6:01. 6:01
right here.
Well, a 2-minute drive and a score, a 3-minute drive and a score. I think any drive Shiloh has and you finish that sentence with a score. I think that this game will be over at that moment. Just not enough time for El Dorado to come back. On the flip side, if this El Dorado defense stops the Shiloh offense, forces a punt, turnover on downs, whatever it may be, if they stop them, man, game on.
Cole fires out here, caught by Slaughter to the 30, to the 35, and he spun down there. A little hat tip to the senior Chandler Kemp. He had an outstanding block on the defensive back. Hey, Cliff, if you notice the defensive back over there, that was their quarterback, number 8, Cannon Jacobs, who has come in the game at safety. So El Dorado, hey, they know their season's on the line. Wildcats got to have a play. They put their best playmaker from quarterback out there on the defense side. So at the 35, going to be second down. Saints are just going to run clock here as first downs are valuables, and it's second down and 3.
Well, El Dorado has 3 timeouts left, so they don't want to use them right now, but they do have 3 in their pocket when they do need to use them.
Just outside the 35, Griffin Mason's going to take the handoff. Griff going left, cuts up the field. He gets a yard to maybe the 36, so it's going to be 3rd down and 2. Well, basically no gain officially right there for Griffin, so just didn't have a hole, but a big 3rd and 2 in this game. 4:56 left to go. Saints up 10. Cliff, this is about probably a 2-minute first down right here if you can kick it off. El Dorado jumps off sides. Oh, they don't call it. Woo, that was close. If he didn't get in the neutral zone, he was as close as you could be without getting in the neutral zone. 3rd and 2. Saints have the play clock at 7. There's a snap. Handoff up the middle. Griffin Mason, he's got the first down to the 38-yard line. Griffin got exactly what he needed, and that was 2 yards. Big first down. 4:26 left to go. That'll get the clock going again and run some more time.
Maybe the greatest carry of the night for Griffin Mason, although it was only 2 yards. It was a big 2 yards as it extends the Shiloh drive, picks up the first down. Griffin, he's been banged up a little bit this season, missed some games, came in averaging only 77 yards a game rushing due to him being out. He's well under that tonight. 11 carries, 42 yards, but those 2 he just picked up, huge, very, very big.
At the 38, El Dorado showing something on the right side of their defensive line. Handoff, Griff, he's going to run right at that. He's to the 42-yard line, and El Dorado is going to start using those timeouts. 3:46. Well, their clock is still running. They may put a few seconds back on the clock right there.
El Dorado, their first timeout of the second half. Please reset the game clock to 3:48.
Take our Prism Pools play of the game.
The Prism Pools and Outdoors. play of the game.
El Dorado shows blitz. They're kind of giving the Saints a taste of their own medicine, standing up the defensive line. Cole back to pass, fires down the left sideline, got a man, caught, 25-20, put it on the scoreboard, touchdown Saints. Fires it right down the sidelines, 55 yards for the touchdown.
This play of the game brought to you by Prism Pools and Outdoors.
Welcome back. Saints at their own 41-yard line with a 2nd down and 6. 3:48 left to go. Timeout was called by El Dorado. They have 2 left. Thank Prism Pools and Outdoors for sponsoring our play of the game this year. Been a really cool addition to the broadcast that we've been able to share this year, so thank them for their sponsorship of Shiloh Christian Football. There's going to be a handoff coming this way, hit at the line of scrimmage and just fighting Griffin, but just nothing there. El Dorado is going to push him back. They knocked the ball loose, but afterwards, and just like every El Dorado defensive line play, it feels like 99 on the tackle again. That young man, the sophomore, he has really played well for the Wildcats. So El Dorado will use a timeout. No gain on that play. 3:30 left to go in the football game. It's a 24
timeout. El Dorado, their second timeout of the second half.
To go
Please
through.
reset the game clock
this
to
is
3
Chris
minutes,
Hill's third
36
season in El
seconds.
Dorado,
3,
Billy.
3,
2
6.
seasons ago, 6-5, made the playoffs first round, 6-5 record. Last year made the quarterfinals, just like tonight at 7-5, and tonight making the quarterfinals, coming in at an 8-3 record. So you see, Coach Hill has improved his team each year there in El Dorado. And, man, what I've seen tonight, they're just going to continue to get better. This may be a one-and-done for Shiloh against El Dorado because we haven't talked about this yet, but kind of something we've been just has been in the hopper a little bit for about 2 years is if Shiloh wins a playoff game, wins tonight, everything's pointing to Shiloh moving up to 7A next season, 7A West with the big boys up here, Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers, Springdale. So we'll have to see how all that shakes out. So this may be just one-time playing El Dorado. Shiloh hopefully gets the win here, pulls it out. But we'll see what the future looks like.
At the 42, Cole's going to throw a slip screen to Slaughter, and he's hitting the backfield at the 40 and just thrown down there. Great job by El Dorado as they read the play. Now the Wildcats will burn their final timeout as it will be 4th and 6. So the Saints have been effective with the screen tonight, and they tried to do it there, but they couldn't get
El Dorado, their final
yards.
timeout
So
of the
Wildcats
second half.
will use their
Please
final
reset the game
timeout
clock
with
to 3 minutes,
3:27 left to go. They'll
29
get the
seconds,
ball back.
Please. 3:29.
They'll burn their last timeout, though. So if you're El Dorado, they're going to have to score and basically have an onside kick unless they have some kind of weird explosive play, maybe on a punt return. But, you know, Cliff, I was going to mention a second ago as you were talking about moving up to 7A, maybe the only time we play El Dorado, but hey, my hat's off. They've been well coached. They played hard physical football. They brought a great fan base. Their band said, we don't care that it's 5 hours. We're getting on the bus. You could tell that that's a high-quality program across the way.
Absolutely. I mean, you can tell a lot by the things that don't happen on the field. Shiloh, through the years, great fan support, student support wherever we play. Oklahoma City. A few years ago, we went to Florida. Great support down. People flew to Florida, not just parents. Fans of the program flew to Florida to support the Saints. They support them here at home. They support them on the road. You can tell a lot about a program. And I'm still seeing a lot of El Dorado fans. Again, one of the bigger crowds we've had here at Champion Stadium for an opposing team coming in. The band, the cheerleaders, the Palm Squad, the parents. I mean, that says a lot about your program, the coaches, the players on the field notice that. I mean, how many times have we called games over here that teams way closer than El Dorado brought hardly any fans? And just how demoralizing that is for the players and the band and cheerleaders that there's no support there. And really those teams haven't been real good on the field. Well, you don't see that in El Dorado. You see a good crowd over there that made the long trip across the state to support their team. And like I said, Chris Hill has a program going in the right direction. I don't know who they have coming back next season, but we called out a lot of sophomores tonight that are pretty good players.
Yeah, it seems like just kind of charting them before. They have a lot of seniors and a lot of sophomores, so those young guys have made some plays. And I tell you what, 99 on the defensive line has been as impressive as we've seen all year. El Dorado's got 2 guys back. Man, if Cole could split the difference, that would be beautiful right here. Saints are going to shift into a normal punt formation with 4 on the play clock. Shiloh's going to kind of have to hurry to get this off. There's a snap. Cole kicks it away. It's a high kick over the head, no return. The 25, they're going to have to let it roll. Let that thing roll, guys. And
boy, I wouldn't even touch it.
I know. It's down at the 23-yard line. I think it started rolling backwards, so Beach touched it to save the yardage. But at the 23-yard line, 3:26 left to go in the game. Now, El Dorado, it's 4 downs and out from this point. No more punting for the Wildcats, as they have got to have 10 points in 3:26. If you're the Saint defense, the key thing here, even if you give up points, just make it a long time. Make them really, really earn it. Long drive, see what you can do. With 24-14
the game clock did not
score,
run during the
3:26
punt.
left
Please
to go.
reset the game clock to 3 minutes,
physical
21
game.
seconds.
And so El Dorado, who is not really a team that wants to throw it a ton, they're going to have to rely on Cannon Jacobs right here to sling it with 3:21. Now, the scoreboard says 1 timeout, Cliff, but if I'm not mistaken, I believe El Dorado is out.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. Saints have 2. Not that they'll use any of them, but they have 2 timeouts remaining.
They're going to run the jet sweep this way. Now he's going to turn and throw it. Silas Nance sees it and deflects it and nearly picks it off at the 41. Well, Silas read that one and said, I got that one, guys. The pass goes incomplete. Is going to be a halfback pass intended for Hammett. Incomplete, 2nd down. So,
yeah, just underthrown ball there that allowed Silas to read it and see what was happening, and he made the play for the ball. And then when that ball's underthrown, that's where receivers, if they notice it, they just become defenders really quick. I mean, you don't want that ball picked off, knock it down, whatever.
2nd down, Jacobs going to fire a quick pass out in the flat. Looked like it hit the ground. Now they let the play go to the 30 to the 35. Okay, now the head official comes from behind the play and says it's incomplete. So the sideline official on the El Dorado sidelines let the play go. But
yeah, and even if the ball's trapped, even if the ball's trapped, it is an incomplete pass. So official right on the call, makes it very quickly. But that does stop the clock.
So at the 23, 3rd and 10 for El Dorado. Again, 2 downs to get the 1st down here. There's no punting with 3:06 left, down 10 for the Wildcats. And the scoreboard is updated. It does say 0 timeout. So we were correct on that. And that's what El Dorado's going to do. Quarterback's going to turn and run it. He's got some room, 25 to the 30. Gets it, breaks a cut outside, gets out of bounds at the 37. And Jacobs, who is done a good job tonight when the pocket's kind of broken down. He's been able to scramble and get a couple El Dorado 1st downs.
And a great job by number 2, Jackson Pagan, on the outside receiver, just coming in, seeing his quarterback is going to cut. The quarterback reads the receiver. The receiver blocks right, quarterback runs left.
At the 38, screen out to this way. He's able to slide 1 tackle and down the sideline to the 45, and then out of bounds there is Williams. So he gets out of bounds. That's the most important part of that play for El Dorado. They get 6 or 7 yards, but they really wanted to get the clock stopped, and they do. He gets 7 officially to the 45, 2nd and 3. 2:50 left to go, but for El Dorado, clock stopped, 1 receiver left. High snap, quarterback's going to turn and just hand it to his running back, and he's going to get to midfield. The clock will stop on the 1st downs. Boy, Samuel took a tough hit. Good job of him of getting back up. He kind of got high load there, had one guy hit him low, another guy get him up by the shoulder pads. El Dorado going as much tempo as they've got. Clock running, 2:38 left to go. 3 receivers to the right. They're going to fake the bubble, throw the slant, got a man Hammett to the 35, down to the 34-yard line. Man, he nearly broke that one. That was a dangerous play there. But the Saints made the tackle that they had to do. 1st down, you see Coach Chris Hill telling his offensive line, get up there on the ball. We got to go. 2:27 left to go. Jacobs going to hand it off. That's a little bit of a surprise to the 30 to the 25. Samuels down to the 20-yard line. That's a El Dorado Wildcat 1st down. That'll stop the clock. Now, one of the offensive linemen, wow, what a break for the Saints right there. One of the offensive linemen lost his helmet, and as he was picking it up, Xander Gonzalez got shoved from behind by an El Dorado offensive lineman, so that's going to cost them 15 yards, and that's critical at this point.
That's a tough play there by the lineman for El Dorado, and he's just taking up for his buddy.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 65. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down, 10 yards to go.
You know, Billy, another perfect example of the second guy getting caught. You hear that and see that all the time. There may be shoving. First guy shoves, nobody sees it. Second guy retaliates. Officials always see it. They throw a flag, and it cost El Dorado 15 yards. They were driving. Clock's not their friend. They've got to have 2 scores, so they've got to score pretty quick here.
Yeah, that also gets the clock going again with 2:14 left to go. El Dorado, bad snap. Quarterback Jacobs gets it's in trouble in the backfield. Oh, he gets away, and he's still running. Now he's sacked. Matt Kimbrough, and I think Gonzalez, a couple more guys got him. A little bit of scruff off the fight. Got to be smart here, guys.
Yeah.
We've got a ball. We got players running off the field for El Dorado. Flags all over the place. As El Dorado is going to lose, I'm afraid, Cliff, they got 52, 9, 4, and 3 all came off the sideline there for El Dorado. Here's another flag that just got thrown by the official. So Chris Hill is out on the field. I think he just got a flag too. So, and I'm a little surprised, Cliff, if you look at it, of the play, there really was, it was just guys fighting in the middle of the pile. It wasn't something dirty in the open field or anything.
It looked like on the tackle, El Dorado guys were pulling Shiloh guys off. And
talk about for the fans, why are our Shiloh guys laying on the pile? Well, you're trying to kill clock.
Well,
you don't want to get up.
I mean, you're not doing anything malicious. You're just slow getting up. You may at times run tempo. That's more of an offensive side of a thing. You may run tempo, but when you're up 2 scores and you got a team driving on you and the clock is ticking down in this game, the clock's ticking down on this season, you're not going to be real quick on getting off of a tackle in a pile up like that. So El Dorado, the Wildcats come over there and they're trying to get Shiloh off, and then a little scrum happens, little pushing going on. You saw some El Dorado guys off the bench and some coaches coming onto the field. So we'll see what the officiating crew does here. But, yeah, it could have gotten ugly quick. And if you're Shiloh, you've got the lead. You've got this win. You've got it in the bag. Just go back, let the other team talk, and let's not get any careless things that may carry over to next week. If somebody gets ejected, that could really hurt you next week.
Well, first thing, you got to give the St. coaches staff credit. Nobody from Shiloh ran onto the field. El Dorado had 3 to 4 guys who came off the sideline to the field. One of those was, I just got to say his name, Maximus Wright. That's a cool name, Cliff. I don't know if he's going to be ejected or not, but that's a cool name. So the head referee has spoken with El Dorado coach Chris Hill. Now he's going to come over and speak to Tucker Barnard. So we'll look at Coach and see kind of what his reaction is, and if he pumps his fist or, rolls his eyes or anything. We may be able to tell.
Coach Barnard's not going to pump his fist. He's not going to show that emotion. But we can't see his eyes. He may roll his eyes. But he's getting the explanation here. So great job by the officiating crew to keep things in check before it could have gotten out of hand.
After the play, personal foul, defense number 42, personal foul, offense number 9. Those penalties will offset. The result of the play is 2nd down. The clock will start on my whistle.
So all of that would be offsetting penalties. And to be honest with you, and this is a minute 53 in a state semifinal. We don't want to see anybody ejected or whatever. We'll just roll with it.
State quarterfinal,
yeah. Hopefully we'll be in the semifinals next week. But St. fans making some noise along the way. So the ball's at the 39. We'll reset at 2nd and 15.
And both teams right now, this next play, you just got to be careful and watch what you do.
Quarterback's going to fire a quick out. It's going to be caught. Can he get out of bounds? He spins and does get out of bounds. Good job by El Dorado as they went out there to number 7. Hammett, they've got a little bit job of getting the ball, but yeah, Cliff, you're right. You just got to be smart the rest of this game because this, your season's on the line. You've been lifting weights in the summer, running, all of this for this moment, and it's 3rd down here for El Dorado, so it's desperation time for the Wildcats. A minute 39. They're going to hand it off to the 30, the 25, and it's going to be a 1st down to the 24-yard line by J.J. Samuel. So J.J. does a good job of getting the 1st down. Got to give El Dorado credit. They've rolled the dice and run the ball a little bit on this drive, but every time they've done it, they've gotten a 1st down. Man in motion. Quarterback's going to keep it. Got a big hole. 20 to the 15. Cuts inside there. Cuts back again and goes down at the 13-yard line. It's another 1st down for the Wildcats. Stops the clock with a minute 9 left to go in the football game. El Dorado will see the clock start running again. A minute 8. A minute 7. Wildcats trying to get the play as quickly as they can. Jacobs has got 2 receivers and a running back, Samuel. They're going to send the man in motion. Hand it off. Samuel coming this way to the 5. Follows his big offensive lineman into the end zone. Touchdown, El Dorado, with 52 seconds left. So the clock runs to about 50.3. and that's where it stops. So El Dorado will have an onside kick coming as they make it 24-20. And so, Cliff, don't take anything for granted. This is a big extra point. If you can block it somehow, you can make this a touchdown. El Dorado would have to get instead of a field goal if they can get the onside kick. So extra point coming for the Wildcats. Snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and it is right down the middle. 24-21, Saints lead with 50 seconds left to go. So El Dorado gets the touchdown they need to stay alive in the game. But the Saints make them burn some clock, and they burn all the timeouts. But you see the handoff right here, Cliff, and they just did a good job of running the ball when they needed to. Samuel gets it in the end zone.
Yeah, big score for the Wildcats there as they have answered. I mean, we were talking this whole fourth quarter about just an uphill battle for El Dorado to get back in this game. And what have they done? Well, they've stopped Shiloh, forced a punt, and then they've scored twice themselves here in the fourth quarter to bring this game within 3. So with 50 seconds, it really all comes down to this onside kick. If Shiloh recovers, there are no timeouts remaining for El Dorado, and Shiloh will just run out the clock and win. If El Dorado somehow, I don't know if I said that right.
Please reset the game clock to 52 seconds, 5-2.
Okay, they reset the clock for a few more seconds there. But if El Dorado recovers, then they've got a shot, but they have no timeouts. If El Dorado does not recover this onside kick, Shiloh can run out the clock and win the game.
So here we go, El Dorado's season on the line. They got to get an onside kick. Interesting, Cliff, number 50, one of their offensive linemen, is out on the far right of the formation. I don't think his job is to go cover the football. I think his job is to go see who he can clear out over there on the right side. So El Dorado, now I saw them do this against Jonesboro. They have a really good onside kick. There it is to the 40, to the 45. Oh, one of their players touched it.
They touched it.
Actually, number 50, who we just mentioned, whose job was to go block, he touched the football. So it's an illegal touching. And Cliff, we're going to the state semifinals if we can snap the ball twice.
Absolutely we are, and just not a smart play there by 50.
The ball was first touched by El Dorado before it went 10 yards.
Trying to recover
first down for Shiloh.
At about the kick at about 7 yards. So not a real great attempt on the onside there by El Dorado, and their season will come to an end. A great season again for the Wildcats. They finished 3rd in the 6A East. Again, Coach Chris Hill building up the program, as I just said a few moments ago. But Shiloh will move on to the state semifinals, looking to get back to Little Rock for a 7th straight trip.
There's one snap and one knee. Saints will have to do that one more time as Creighton will kill his rushing average right there, but he won't care one little bit about that. So Saints will have to snap it one more time with 40 seconds left to go. Saints 24-21. And Cliff will give you a quick update. They just ended the third quarter down at Sylvan Hills. Marion leads 25-20. Now, after this snap, we'll tell you what that means for the Saints. El Dorado ran a player on late. That doesn't really make any difference. And that will end the clock, last 20 seconds of the game. The Saints are going to win, and they're going to go to the state semifinals. It was a dogfight, but Shiloh finds a way to win it, 24-21, as they beat the El Dorado Wildcats tonight.
And the Shiloh Saints are going to the state semis for the 8th straight year. These are just incredible numbers that very few teams in Arkansas, much less across the country, can say this at any level. But the Saints going to the state semis for the 8th straight season and the 9th out of the past 10 seasons, Billy. What a great job by this program. Again, very successful program through the years. Just the 37th season of Shiloh Christian football, and we're going to the state semis. Now, we'll see what happens here in the other semi or quarterfinal game. Are we going on the road or are we going to host? Give us an update.
Well, right now it is 25-20, Marion leading as they are starting the fourth quarter. Sylvan Hills currently has the football, and they're deep in their own territory to start the fourth quarter. So this game will finish after we go off the air, but here's the scenario. If Sylvan Hills comes back and wins, the Saints will go to the North Little Rock area next Friday night to play Sylvan Hills in the state semifinal. If Marion wins, we'll be at home next week. The Saints would host, as they would be the better seed out of the second seed out of the West. So if Marion wins, It's here at Champion Stadium. If Sylvan Hills is able to come back and win, which they've just amazingly done all year, they would be at home and the Saints would go there next week. So either we'll be back at Champion Stadium, Cliff, or we'll be hitting the road, one of the one. But kind of wrapping up this one tonight, you almost kind of look at the scoreboard and say, man, we sort of played the game that El Dorado wanted to play, but the Saints won the physicality game tonight, I felt like.
Yeah, I really think they do. I mean, both teams were physical, but Shiloh just at key times of the game, I think that's the thing to say, at key times of the game, the Saints were the most physical team, and they showed why they're the number 2 ranked team in Class 6A in the state of Arkansas, and they made some critical stops at key times of the game that really hurt El Dorado, really helped Shiloh, and boy, it was a tough one. Shiloh hasn't had very many games this season that, well, on the winning side, Shiloh hasn't had any wins this close. So give El Dorado credit there. They played their hearts out. Really good team. But Shiloh was the better team here at home tonight.
Yeah, a lot of seniors on the El Dorado side that were tough. So Saints win it 24-21 over El Dorado. And so we'll wrap it up here from Champion Stadium as the Saints are headed to the state semifinals. And again, as we go off the air, right now Marion has the lead. If they hang on, we'll be here next Friday night after Thanksgiving for the state semifinal, or we'll join you from Sylvan Hills next Friday night. So for Brian Dunaway and his great crew, we say thank you, and we will see you next Friday night. Final score, Saints 24, El Dorado 21. Good night, everybody.